Hi everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Those Nerds You Know, episode 12. My name is Ethan LeBlanc.
And I'm David McQueen.
And we are Those Nerds You Know. So, today we're going to talk about The Defenders.
Yeah!
Yeah, that quaint little Netflix show.
Applause. Applause.
Applause for us?
For
us.
Yeah, more us than The Defenders.
Ooh.
Oh no, I didn't mean that there's some negative.
It's terrible. If it isn't,
no.
It's
It's alright. It's fine.
Spoiler alert, we're going to spoil everything.
We're going to spoiler a lot.
Yeah, all the spoils. We will do a spoiler-free review, just like we did for Voltron 3. That'll be in video form, and it will be on our YouTube, hopefully there by the time this comes out.
Yeah, they should come out rather simultaneously.
Yep. So yeah, I don't know. Let's get into it. What are we talking about, David?
Talking about The Defenders, the Netflix show that combines the previous Marvel Netflix shows on Netflix shows on Netflix. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. Daredevil's the only one with 2 seasons, and so he's got a lot more.
Because he's the only one that deserves 2 seasons.
I'd argue Jessica Jones could use another second.
Most people do, but I couldn't get through the show, so I don't care about it. I'm not going to pretend to care about it anymore.
I feel that.
That's fine.
But
that's my opinion.
Yeah.
What's your opinion, Internet?
Luke Cage deserves a second season.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Actually, I'll go into that later. I want to touch on that later. Yeah.
I'm talking about some Luke Cage. Let me talk about some Luke. Okay, so yeah.
I want to start off a little bit with Defenders in that my first impression of the show, just starting it, is that
weak.
It was weak. It had a very weak start, and it was one of those. It's definitely one of those shows that, I hate when people describe shows like this because I'm like, I don't want to watch the show where they describe a show as being slow to start.
Yes,
I hate that so much.
No,
I was like, if the show is slow, why would I get into it? Why would I spend my time getting into a show that the first part is so bad?
Yeah, no, I watched the first episode and I was just like, I hope the rest of it's not like this.
Yeah, no.
This is dope.
Especially with what we got with Iron Fist and Luke Cage. I was like, no, please learn.
Yes. This is a team show.
It does get better.
Until episode 3.
Yeah, it does get better, and it was a trek the first bit, and I was a little disheartened at the start of it. I was like, no, please. So I guess we could talk about where they started, how a little bit about the Defenders and how they started. Yeah, the way I describe the beginning of the show is lots of faffing about.
Yeah.
Each of the characters, they kind of try to complete an arc, or I guess not an arc necessarily, but they try to bring everybody's story to some kind of conclusion, or introduce them into wherever they were in their respective shows into a place that they could end up being in this show. And for some of them, it was easy. For Jessica Jones, it's she's still drinking. She's still, hard to be around.
Still keeping on.
Yeah, exactly. But then they have characters then they had things like Daredevil, where he just stopped being Daredevil, and
no more Daredevil.
I like the conflict from his perspective, but I don't like how everybody else in his show sees it. Honestly, we'll go into it later.
We don't like how Karen and Foggy feel about
Karen and Foggy, but also kind of his priest. His priest seemed to be on the fence about it at the same time too. But it was we didn't get to see him as much talking about it. He really just kind of just said some vague things.
Yeah, well, the priest was the one who talked to him about moving on.
Yeah.
He was the one who kind of was helping him through his loss of Elektra. I
think
that's really what it was.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. But it's so he didn't really touch on it too much. But I just felt of the shows, I felt Daredevil's supporting cast in this particular show was a little weak as far as the way they were plot driven. I feel the same way about...
That being said, I love seeing them.
Yeah, actually, it was good seeing them, and it was good seeing them interact with people.
I don't even say that weak, because
I say weak in the sense that I don't think they helped push the story forward that much. I felt like they were really just there to slow everything down And I feel the same way about Luke Cage's Misty Knight.
I feel like I definitely feel that way about Misty. Misty has only been a roadblock for the entire time that she's existed in Luke's show and in this show.
But
that
see,
is it. She's just there to slow everything
I
down.
I didn't mind Misty Knight in Luke Cage, because in Luke Cage, while he was supernatural, he was dealing with street level threats, and so it made sense for a street level cop to try and be like, no, I got to figure this out, we're gonna do this by the law. And it made sense to kind of like do the vigilante thing, but it's declared pretty early on in the show that what they're going through is way out of the cop's pay grade, basically. And the show felt detached as far as like anytime she was involved with it. It felt detached from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like there were so many moments where she was saying something, and I was like, "You live in a New York City where aliens attacked, and there's a man with $1 billion metal suit that protects you." I'm like, and I'm just like, what?
Yep.
How do you not expect like?
No, I get you.
You had an earthquake that happened at your city, and people have been trying to cover it up. And you're trying to stop Luke Cage from talking to people. You're trying to stop Jessica Jones from being a private eye. You're trying to stop. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't your case.
Being
like, this
annoying.
isn't your.
That's what she's doing.
It's terrible.
That's what she was employed to do. They're like,
no.
"Hey, can you play a really annoying character?" And she was like, "Boy, watch me." And we all did.
We all did. But no, like with Daredevil's characters, Karen and Foggy, they basically are just like on his case the whole time for being Daredevil.
But I mean, they always have been. And Foggy, in the end, enables him to be Daredevil, though. Like, he's the one who comes to him and says, "Hey, go do your thing."
It felt so weird and forced, and like it didn't feel like it didn't. A
lot of things.
It didn't feel very. It didn't feel very. What's the word I'm looking for? Organic. Like, it just felt like the writers were like, oh, I guess I got to find some way for them to kind of make up. But even afterwards, he's just like, no, this was the wrong idea. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, the man's a hero. He died for your city. Spoilers. But also
I don't think he said he was the wrong idea. I think someone told him that it was the right decision. Claire
told him it was, but he still felt it was the wrong decision at first.
It's because he lost a friend.
Yeah, I know. And it's just...
I don't know.
I like Foggy.
I
didn't feel like... I know, even though they were the same actors in this show as they were in Daredevil, it didn't feel like they were playing the same characters in this show.
I mean...
It felt like they were written a little bit differently.
Kind of, but I mean... one thing I feel is that they've always had, like, the same... They've had this outlook on it since the end of Daredevil Season 2. So I don't feel like a whole lot has changed with them. And I'm not... Although they weren't super helpful, I'm not willing to say that they were the least helpful as far as supporting cast.
No, I don't think that either.
I don't feel like anyone from Jessica Jones' show did anything in this except for the reporter the Trish started talking about the earthquake, and then
Trish started talking about the earthquake, and Malcolm kept showing up with pieces of evidence that helped them in their case.
Yeah.
I thought Malcolm and Trish were a lot more helpful than Foggy and
but I feel like a lot of the supporting cast in this wasn't helpful to begin with. Aside from like maybe Claire and the homegirl, the other Colleen, yes,
yeah, she was fine. She did. They both of them did really well.
I was happy to see Karen and Foggy again because they're connected to the show that I actually like from this series.
Yeah,
so I was like, yay, you!
Foggy is like one of my favorite parts of Daredevil, and I did not like him in this show. Every time he was on camera, I was just like, go away! You're so unhelpful. Like, he just felt mean and bitter, and I was just like, I don't want this. Like, he used to be the comic relief for the show, and I don't like that. I don't like that.
That's true. This show, all these shows can need some comic relief, and he would be great for that. So hopefully they can get that swing back, but I don't know if they ever will. Yeah,
I don't know what they're gonna do.
So yeah, I understand that.
It's like, I understand the Netflix shows are trying to be darker and grittier than the Marvel movies have been, because the Marvel movies tend to be more happy and stuff. Yeah, exactly. I feel like part of it is because they feel they can, quote unquote, like, because they're not restricted as
we're on
other
Netflix,
places
so we can do all this bad stuff we can't do in the movies.
Yeah, but I'm just like, why though? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind them. I do feel though like they have sort of the Flash season 2 or 3 illness where they're just blaming everything on Matt. Where like they're just the supporting cast that's meant to hate on Matt.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is fine, whatever. I just, yeah, I don't like that about them.
That's how I felt about it too. Like, because it's just like, my thing was like, they talked to him as if being Daredevil was an addiction for him, and basically they were trying to like be like an intervention for him and all these different things. And I'm just like, I mean, I kind of get it. It's like he's putting himself at risk, and they care about him, so they don't want him getting himself hurt.
Right.
But at the same time, like, he's doing something that he's one of the few people who has the ability to do these things, and the police aren't doing these things. You know what I mean? Like, and they live in a world where heroes exist. And so it's just like, I guess it's because they're like, oh man, you're blind, and you're.
Yeah, well, I think that again, I think a lot of it just comes out of concern for him as a friend. They're just like, please stop doing this. You're going to die, and he did die. So
it's just,
I think
they just showed it in a weird way. And also, that's the other thing. Like, him dying, I felt really just made their characters look like the good guys in the whole thing, and I don't like that, because I was like, because my thing is like, are we supposed to side with Daredevil and be like, no, Daredevil should be the good guy, he should be protecting New York City, or we should be siding with his friends and being like, no, he's right, he should hang it up, and we should never see any more Daredevil. Like,
no, I think we're meant to side with Daredevil, but I think we're also meant to feel pain for them, which I do. I think that I'm thinking about it now, I think they're a good example of what friends and family members do whenever they find a family member or a friend who's in an addiction.
Yeah.
In that they try to help, but they don't really know how, and so they get frustrated easily.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that parallel.
Yeah.
With them that you bring up.
That's...
So I understand that.
Yeah, I can see that, I guess.
Again,
it's just...
I think we've talked about this too much.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, this is just something that like it hit me early on. Yeah. I thought Jessica Jones was fine early on. I felt Luke Cage kind of skedaddled past its ending, in that like in Luke Cage he's ended up in prison, and in Defenders they're like, and now he's out. Yep. And I'm like, oh, got it. Okay,
killed it. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it.
I mean, it's fine. I'm fine with that too. Like that it was probably boring and poorly written anyway, but
that's
it was.
And anytime spent on that would be time spent on just Luke Cage.
Yeah, but at the same time, my thought was just like, why even put him in jail at the end of his show if we're just going to be like, and now it's over.
I have so many questions about Luke Cage and his character, David. That's not even close. Not even close.
I get that.
Luke Cage's character is so weird to me.
Okay, yeah.
Like, it's so strange. His motivations are... Yeah, while we're on the course... we're talking about characters and motivations. Jessica was there because she had a case that brought her there.
Which I thought was really neat, because it really, like I said, she felt really true to her character from her show, in that she started off being like this cold-hearted person, and then like she saw this girl who had a similar problem as she's faced in the past, and she's like, I can't just like leave these people. And so just like I thought in our talk before, was like she's going to want to help, and so she steps in, and I'm like, that's great.
I don't feel like Luke was very true to character. However, he did get into this mess because of one kid in Harlem. So that's fine. It's not fine, and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Whatever. That's what happened for him. And Iron Fist is messed up in this stuff because it's his destiny.
Yeah. And he's just continuing to use money and resources to run around and fight ninjas.
Daredevil is in this because I think just because he was asked to... Right, yeah. Foggy asked him to go look at some cases, right?
Yes.
And one of them was hers?
One of them was her case.
Was Jessica Jones.
Yeah, so Foggy was told by Hogarth to keep an eye on Jessica Jones if she gets in trouble to basically help him. But instead of Foggy taking her case, he gave it to Matt to keep him distracted from being Daredevil.
Right, and Matt
so he became
learned things about Jessica, and he was like, all right, well...
Which was an interesting thing. And the only reason I bring it up earlier, especially with Luke Cage being in prison, was that the original ideas, or the original things I was reading about the Defenders, was that the story with Jessica Jones being arrested and being defended by Matt Murdock, I was told was originally the idea was it was going to be Luke Cage was on trial for something, and Matt Murdock was going to be defending him, but for whatever reason we decided to shift the paradigm and do it this way, and that's the reason I was like, okay.
Which is cool, and that's
it worked out. It worked out fine, but
that was really cool to see.
I think they had better. I think they had better chemistry than I think Matt and Luke would have had, because Matt and Luke almost have no interactions because like they don't know each other like at all, and like they don't really have a lot in common. Like it's like anytime he talks to him, he's just like, you seem like a nice guy. You do. Whatever. But they don't. They're like more like acquaintances than anything.
Okay. Luke Cage. Okay, so I'll just go. While it's on my mind, I'll just go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah,
thing.
talk about it.
So Luke Cage bothers me because the Luke Cage in this show,
yes,
I personally feel is significantly better and cooler than the Luke Cage in his own show.
Yes, definitely.
But to a degree that it doesn't make any sense anymore. So, in Luke Cage, the show, Luke just doesn't want to be involved in any type of hero stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to get seen, doesn't want people to know he has powers, because he doesn't want to go back to jail. He doesn't want to get in trouble with the law.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada.
Fine.
Whatever. Respecting it. Okay.
Sure.
Whatever. He won't step in. People get hurt. People get killed. People lose their livelihoods, their stores, or everything like that. They get threatened.
Mm-hmm.
People get stolen from. A person has their place of business shot with a rocket.
Yes.
And he's still just like, I'm not gonna, it's not my thing, I'm not a hero. And we have to drag him along and just irk him and subtly push him into being a hero for like 11 episodes.
Yeah.
Until we're finally at the point where he's like, well, this guy's got a suit, I guess I should beat him up or something. And so he does, very lackluster-like in the street.
Yeah.
And then he goes to jail.
Fist fight in the street.
Right. And I'm just like, okay. Whereas in this one...
Yeah.
One kid gets sent to jail.
Yeah.
From Harlem.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, screw the police. I'm going to do whatever I want. Yeah. I can't be listening to you, Misty. I can't be doing what, like, it's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
That, like, this one thing comes in and he's like, I'm going to go fight all these ninjas.
Yeah.
Over this one kid. I don't care what any of these police officers say.
Yeah.
I'm not telling the police anything. We're going to go and just murder all these people and be heroes because I'm a hero and I have to do this. And I'm like, where was all of this for 13 episodes?
Yeah. And
of people getting murdered.
Yeah.
And die, and like all of that. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Why is it suddenly okay for you to defy the police and just go out and do your thing? Why was it not okay then? Yeah. And why are your motivations based off this one kid who got messed over in Harlem? Like, Iron Fist is here because it's his destiny and because I guess he wants to get revenge too, which is kind of childish as well. Righto.
Sure.
Homegirl, Jessica, cares about people and is working a case.
Yeah.
And Daredevil knows how dangerous everything is and is like, no, we have to stop these people. Before, yes, I know what these people are. We have to stop them. Yeah. And Luke is just like, hey, well, I guess Harlem is in New York, and, if New York's going to get hurt, I guess by the transitive property, Harlem's
also going to get hurt.
So I gotta be in this. I'm like, what do you do? Like, your motivations are so strange, and your character is so weird now. Like, it's so different.
Yeah, so
it's better. Granted,
yes,
I'm fine with you going out and doing your hero thing. Thank you for doing that.
Yes.
Why didn't you do this 20 episodes ago?
Yeah. So I feel like part of it has to do with there's probably different writers from this show than there were for Luke Cage.
Hopefully.
I also feel like this version of Luke Cage, like you said, A, is better, but B, I also feels fits the comic better. Like,
yeah,
that's another thing. That's one other gripe I had with a lot of these shows, and even some of the Defenders in some parts of this show. I mean, is that I felt like I understand you're trying to make an original story with these characters that are based off a comic, but why not make the characters at least similar to their comic book characters?
And like you've already done that with some of them. Like Daredevil's great.
Yeah,
this is a fantastic rendition of Daredevil.
Yeah, he's great.
I like the character. It goes well. He's Catholic. He's got all that good Catholic guilt.
Yeah,
he's blind.
Good Catholic guilt.
Great senses. He's a good fighter.
Yeah,
he's conflicted inside. He's good.
Yeah.
He's great. He's a good lawyer. Charlie Cox just does all of this so well.
Yeah.
It's real cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Jessica Jones, I don't know the character very well. I've only seen some of the show.
She's
From what I understand,
close.
she's pretty good.
Yeah, she's pretty close to her
point.
comic.
And then we have Luke Cage, who's just a big baby. And then we have Iron Fist, who's just a whiny kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Where did this fall off?
Right.
Why are we here? What's going on?
Exactly.
We've gone through 5 13-episode seasons, and then this 8-episode season, and 2 of these characters, Luke and Iron Fist are just kind of getting to what they really are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is way too long.
Yeah.
This is far too long of a
also,
crazy origin arc to get them to where they should have already been.
Along that same line, I know you don't like her, but Misty Knight, too. Like, she's nothing, nothing like her comic.
Precisely. I hate her because she's annoying.
Yeah.
She's horrible.
Yeah.
And now she's got her arm cut off. She's going to get a bionic arm if everything goes well and we get enough budget, right? Yeah.
Right, yeah, maybe.
Maybe they'll start low tech, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it'll just be a hook with a flashlight on it.
Have you seen...
And then we'll work our way up.
Yeah, have you seen
MP3
John Barrowman's robotic arm in Arrow when Merlin loses his arm?
No, not that far.
It looks like he's wearing a black glove, and I'm like, just
cool
do that.
Yeah, just do that.
Just do that.
That's fine. That's okay. I mean, don't they do a fairly decent job with Homeboy's bionic arm and Shield?
Yeah, they do. So what they do is...
Because it's made to look like a real arm.
Yeah.
He's got a cloaking device. But does he use it occasionally for some things?
Yeah, he does certain things. And so, like, they'll put a lot of money in the effect of making his arm look like it's coming off or whatever the case may be. But it's like, in the normal uses of it as an actor, when he's just doing his thing, he's just using his regular arm like he normally would. And they're just like, oh, it's a robot arm. We just talk about it like that. Yeah. So, like, yeah, it doesn't have to be too fancy. It doesn't have to be too goofy.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Yeah, there's a lot of really easy budget ways to do a robotic arm.
I'm glad it finally came off.
You and I talked about how Walking Dead won't do an arm removal thing, and I feel like the difference between Walking Dead not doing it and other shows doing it is the fact that in the Walking Dead universe, there's no way for them to feasibly get some kind of robotic arm replacement. No. They would just be armless for the rest of the show.
Ain't no one-stop arm shop here. No thanks.
Yeah, no thank you. So, yeah. But no, in a superhero show or superhero movie, like, get a robotic arm. Yeah. It's easy.
Totes for goats. Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, we can fake it however you want to do it.
She annoys me so much because she just has this attitude of, I am the greatest thing on this planet.
Yeah.
And you need to be listening to me right now.
Yeah.
And nothing you do matters, and I know all of this.
Yeah, she's very arrogant, and she's
so stupid.
She thinks she always has.
She has no idea what's going on. Yet she feels like she should be treated like the only person who knows what's going on. Also,
part of one of the problems I think I have with that as well, not to get back on her for too long, is that I feel like it would help if people did tell her what the problem was, but everybody keeps thinking that if we do tell her, she'll be in danger. And I'm like, what's keeping her from being in danger now? She's been poking her nose everywhere.
She'll have more dirt on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just there's a scene where she's coming feasibly to Earth. She's coming to arrest homegirl, Jessica.
Jessica, yep.
Jessica's chasing Elektra out of her apartment.
Yes.
Elektra flees out of the apartment. Jessica runs out into the street after her.
She's like maybe a minute, like a second behind.
Yeah. And Misty shows up, immediately pointing a gun at her.
Yeah.
And she's like, put your hands in there. And I'm like, you haven't shown a badge to anyone.
Yeah. You haven't charged anybody.
Warrant.
Yeah.
You ain't said nothing to her about why you're coming to arrest her. You just pointed a gun at a civilian. You didn't see the ninja running out
of the front of the building?
Yes. You didn't see this. What? Like, nothing. You didn't try to help. You just pointed the gun at a civilian and asked them why they hadn't already put their hands up. Like, this is the kind of ridiculousness I'm talking about. Yeah. She's so annoying.
Yeah, no, she's not great.
No. Like, what? This isn't how you handle the situation.
Yeah. But no, like you said, Luke Cage and Iron Fist, not great representations of their comics in their shows. Luke Cage better in this show, like you said. I feel like so Luke Cage, we've heard story about Luke Cage getting into fights over $200.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Luke Cage doesn't need an excuse to get out there and fight somebody.
Yes.
But in his show, he didn't want to do anything. No. He just didn't.
And like early on in his comic Hero for Hire, like he would take jobs, assuming that he would get paid, and then he'd be like, nah, you know what, keep your money, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's because he has a good heart, and he just wants to be a hero.
Method Man in his show refers to him as a hero for hire, and he's never done a job. Not
even close. It's the dumbest thing.
Yeah.
It is so strange. It's us. It's like, it's the same problem I think a lot of DC heroes that's in BVS.
Oh yeah. In the cinematic universe.
The cinematic universe. We're like, look, this is Superman, and we're like, no,
it isn't.
The evidence says no.
The evidence says no.
Yeah. And
Your
I'm just
Honor,
like,
objection.
look, this is Doomsday. No. Evidence says
that's
no.
a cave troll from.
Look, this
from
is
Lord of the
Lex
Rings.
Luthor.
Right?
No. This is the Riddler.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
what is going on?
Yeah.
That is exactly what this is. It's like, hey, look, it's Luke Cage, the hero for hire. And you're like, no.
No, he's not.
This is the Iron Fist. No.
Nope.
No, it's not.
Nope. No, it's not.
Good try, though. Huh.
Yeah.
But can I just express my joy
Yeah.
at seeing Daredevil back in again?
Gosh, yeah.
I'm so
It took
happy.
him
So happy that
too
he's
long
back.
for me to see him in the suit. I was like, just put the suit on, man.
Right?
You can do this.
Oh, I love when he comes in, too.
Yeah. Oh, it's
That's
so
one
great.
thing that I didn't mention to you earlier that I really like, is that, like, when the Hand first gets the Hand is aware of the Iron Fist from the beginning because they need the Iron Fist.
Yes, yeah.
And when they're
not aware of his friends at first.
Right. When they see that he has friends, they're like, oh, he's got 3 friends. We don't know. Like we kind of know that there's this one guy, this black guy who's really strong and impervious.
Yeah.
And we kind of know about Jessica Jones. But they don't know who the other guy is, and it's great because once he's introduced, they're like, holy crap, it's the devil of Hell's Kitchen. They're like scared of this man. And I'm like, yes, dope. Because you should be. Because he's awesome.
Yeah. I did.
Oh my gosh, that was cool.
I totally didn't notice it. But yeah, you're right. There is that moment where they're all just like, we've got a new problem.
Yes.
Daredevil's on the case.
Yes.
And I'm just like,
I was like, that's
okay.
right.
Yeah.
I love it when he pops in because that's when they're trying to take Trish.
Yeah, they try to kidnap Trish.
And I think did they send the Japanese guy after her?
Yeah, I think
he's the
so.
one who sees Daredevil. He's the one who gets beat up by Daredevil, and he comes back and he's like, "Y'all, the devil's here."
Yeah, no, yeah, he
So
has to come back and tell
cool.
them that the devil is in.
I just want more
on the
of that.
case.
Just stop making everything out.
Right.
Just make more Daredevil, please.
So I have actually a case for the future of Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
It needs to be this. It needs to be 8 episodes of the 2 of them hanging out.
But I was like, don't give them their own shows. Make a show with just the 2 of them.
Yep.
Because in the comics, they're best buds.
Yep.
And they had such good chemistry in this show.
Power Man and Iron Fist, heroes for hire.
Right?
Go. Just
they
do
did
it.
great together. Once they were together,
yes.
it was a neat combination.
The scene
in
where
that
they fight together
in that room,
Midland, yes,
in Midland Circle,
just gets behind him when they're shooting the guns.
Oh my
It was
gosh,
so sweet.
that was the moment
so
I was like,
smooth,
oh man, this show
so
might
cool.
actually be
It's
good.
like, yes, let's do this for the rest of this show.
Gosh, yes. I was so bought in at that point. I was like, yes, everything is over. We got there, guys.
Yes,
we
that
got
was real cool. The scene in the hallway was fine. It was a lot faster than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
the
leading up to that moment. Yeah,
well, the fight in the hallway when they're leaving.
It's a brief fight. Is what you mean.
It's basically just what was in the trailer.
Yeah.
When it looked like it would be like the end of something big. That was.
Yeah. That's I feel that. I feel that.
It was fine.
It was It was a neat into. What was it, episode 2 or episode 3 that happened?
I've been burned on this before. I'm pretty sure it's episode 2.
2. Okay.
I think.
It may have been the episode.
Yeah, because I think end of episode 2 is when they all get into the elevator, so they have met by the end of episode 2. Episode 3, I think, is when they're all in the Chinese restaurant talking, and they're actually making a decision as to whether or not they're going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Could be. I just want a list of episodes. Each word. Mean Red Hook. Okay, no, that's right. We still have another episode of...
Yeah, episode 2 is when Luke Cage and Iron Fist first meet, and like that's the only related interaction we get.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I did like that. I also like the talk they had because I freaking loved that Iron Fist or that Luke Cage called Iron Fist out. I love that everybody called Iron Fist out, but yes, I love that Luke Cage was the first one to be like, "You're a billionaire and you're fighting ninjas like on the ground. You're fighting ground level bad guys. Like, why aren't you taking this to the boss?
Yeah,
you have the money and connections. Just
go do something real.
Call up their boss.
Yeah, I just
put him in your office.
Yep. Stop being a little child.
Yeah."
It's nuts.
I love how constantly Iron Fist got called an idiot or a kid or all these different things. Like, I love people just call him out on his fact. Because I was like, this kid needs to get humbled bad.
Bad. Because Iron Fist is a humble person.
He is a humble person in the comics. He's a very zen individual. He's a very together individual.
I like that by the end of this, we have an Iron Fist that is becoming more what Iron Fist is meant to be.
Yes, I do feel
I
that too.
hate
I do
that
feel that
it
he had
took-
he did kind of have an
So it wasn't
arc.
until episode 8 that we really see that. It took 21 episodes, David,
Yeah.
to get to a point where we're feeling kind of like this is the Iron Fist that we were supposed to have gotten.
Yeah, when Luke Cage was pretty much Luke Cage we wanted by like episode 2 of this show or episode 1 of this show.
Yeah.
Which is still bad.
Still bad. That's still
But-
13 episodes.
but yeah, it's still
I mean,
not-
like, Iron Fist, he...
21 episodes bad.
A cool part that I saw was when he was... The rest of the team still hadn't made it down to the bottom of the pit yet, I don't think, and he was talking with Gal.
Mm-hmm.
Gal had walked into the room with the skeleton, and she was talking to him, and she was trying to get him to, like, rage,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just like, nah, you can't get in my head anymore.
Yeah.
I know what I'm here for. I'm good. I was like,
Yeah.
yes, thank you.
That was cool.
Thank you for putting
Wait,
your problem
when he
aside.
fought Gao?
So Gal was talking to him.
Yeah.
He was beating up some of the guys that were trying to harvest the skeleton.
Yeah,
Gal walks
yeah,
up
yeah.
and she's like, you're just a little boy
Yeah.
who's trying to, like, what would you give to see your mother again, to hold her hand?
Oh, all those
Think
things.
about
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of
I
that.
remember
And he was like, nah, guh.
Yeah, and that was after he had gotten into that rage fight with Elektra and opened the door like she
Yes.
wanted him to
Yes.
because he
Yes.
was such a little
Yes.
baby.
Moron.
And I'm just
Idiot.
like, but
What are you doing? That's like you're down there. And she's like, "You gonna fight me? Or you gonna open this door?" And I'm like, "You need me to open this door. If you kill me, you can't open this door.
yeah,
I'm gonna just go back in the elevator and like go up. Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do about it?
yeah,
Nothing. Zero things.
Yeah.
But no, because he's a rage monster. He turns on his
yeah.
fist and fights this.
I loved how often he got told to calm down in this show.
Yeah.
I know it never happened. Like it never
Never
got to the point where he actually freaking did. But I love that everybody was just like, it wasn't just the audience. Everybody there was like, no, you've got an anger problem. You need to handle this. Like,
You need to chill. Daredevil's the one that's supposed to have an anger problem.
right?
Gosh. What? I guess while we're on that topic, I got to see what I was wanting for this whole show, which was Daredevil kick the crap out of Iron Fist. I love.
Oh my
that.
gosh, yes.
Gosh, yes.
I love that Jessica
was
Jones
like-
got the last hit on him. I love that.
like,
I love
yes,
that so much.
sir. Like whenever they
Gosh,
okay,
when
first
that
off,
fight was building.
that fight was real contrived to me. I felt like that was real dumb.
Was
so
the
it was
three of
when-
them
it was
fighting
when
each other?
The three of them fighting Iron Fist.
Iron
They were
Fist,
just
yeah.
like, "You're the key, right?"
Yeah.
And two of them were like, well, "Let's just kill you." Well, I think Stick was like, well, "Let's just kill him."
Yeah, Stick was like, yeah, let's just... No,
and
Stick
then-
wasn't like, just kill him at the time. He thought about that later. But he was like...
Right.
They,
The
it
rest
felt
were just
like,
like,
he
we
was
just
just being
gotta hide you.
just being sus.
But
But,
I mean,
everybody
like-
was like, we should just keep him here.
They turned on him real fast. Like they all just gave him this crazy mean look. And they were
Yeah.
like, "Rrr," and they were like, "No." Then we're just gonna like, "Hey, why don't we just hide? Why don't you just hide for a bit?"
Yeah.
And everyone just jumped immediately to, "Okay, we've got to take you down."
So... I feel that. I feel that for me, it didn't bother me that much because to me, like they were saying some sus things, but I understood that the gist they were trying to get was, we got to bench you. But I also knew that being as arrogant and angry as Iron Fist was, he wasn't going to be
Right.
like, no, you're not going to bench me. And that was like his whole point. And so that's why I was like, I felt like he was the one escalating things. They were the ones that
Right.
were just kind of like, hey, look, why don't we... And, like, that's why I liked Luke Cage's conversation with him later when he was tied up, where he was just like, whenever you're done, we can talk. And
Ooh, that's another thing I didn't like about this. There was a lot of people looking at other people who were tied up and telling them, "Hey, I'm on your side."
yeah.
That happened here. I'm pretty sure that happened. I think again to Iron Fist when he was tied up with the hand.
Yeah, with
maybe.
Alexandra, Sigourney Weaver's character.
Yeah,
She says, we're not
might
so
have been
different,
it.
you and I. A lot of people were saying they...
There's a lot of these things where like someone was looking at someone else who was basically had their will or whatever, something restrained or removed.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Look, bro, we're on the same... It's fine. We're good. We're both together. We're the same side. It's all gooch."
Yeah.
And I'm like, but no.
Well,
What are you
I still felt that way with Iron Fist when he was being
Well,
tied
yeah,
up. Like,
Luke-
I wanted
Luke
him
and
tied up
Iron Fist,
bad. Like,
yeah,
I wanted
that's
him to
fine.
shut up. Like, I wanted him to
Oh
just...
yeah, I'm alright with that. I'm alright
Yeah.
with him being tied up.
But
I
no,
just felt like that
the other
situation
ones did feel
I felt like that the situation of that
weak.
fight
It did feel very...
went really, it escalated real fast. And was
Sure.
contrived. And I think the audience understood that Iron Fist was arrogant and that he wasn't going to sit down. But I don't think the other four characters had known him long enough
I don't
to
know.
jump that quickly.
He'd already snapped at a few of them a few times over dumber things.
Yeah.
And like he'd been talking about how like this was his destiny, and
That's true.
he was very committed to this fighting the hand thing.
It's big on
and
this
they were like,
destiny
"Look,
thing.
the hand really wants you." and that's weird, and we shouldn't let you anywhere near the hand. And he was like, well, I want to go out there and fight the hand. And like, no, but that's what they want you to do, though. Like,
I get that.
And so that's why I was like, to me, it made sense. I do feel like you're right. It did escalate a little bit too quickly, especially at the pace the show was going, because the show was going rather slow up until that point.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why is it?
It was kind of a roller
Why is it we need to do this right now?
Slow for a bit and fast, and it dipped.
At their pace, it could have worked, better.
Yeah. However, it did lead to Daredevil fighting Iron Fist, which is great.
Which was awesome.
I think Luke and Homegirl should have just sat back and just let Daredevil just open up a can on this.
No, I think he should. I think he totally would have.
So cool, and it's not, but it also brings up another pain point about the show and how Iron Fist can just get his butt handed to him by anyone.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's not what the Iron Fist.
He lost a lot of fights in this show.
Lost a ton, and I'm like,
not even just a Daredevil, but like a bunch of people, like.
And I'm like, how? Like, no wonder everybody in Kunlun died, because if this is the best they've got. Danny is literally the best fighter to come out of Kunlun.
Yeah, and he's
so these other guys probably have never even seen a Kung Fu movie.
Who is
they all just got murdered.
Who is it that mentions that they think Danny Rand is like the worst Iron Fist? Is it Stick?
Everyone?
Someone? No, but I feel like someone straight up says that.
Probably Stick. Probably one of the hand.
Yeah, one of them says that he's like the worst Iron Fist, and it wasn't until I look back at Iron Fist footage and you see the scene where they have the previous Iron Fist, or one of the older Iron Fists, fighting with two yellow fists and fighting just a bunch of like Nazis or whoever it is, or whatever war it took place in. Yeah. And they're just like beating the crap out of them, and I'm like, Danny's never done that stuff. Like he's never been that mobile. He's never had two Iron Fists going at one time. He's never had them going for that long. Like he's just always just like he winds up and he punches something, and I'm like, anybody could dodge this. Like literally anyone.
He's just not good at being the Iron Fist. Yeah, we know. We're aware. It was so satisfying to see him get beat up. No, it was good. It was good. Good.
Gosh,
I love seeing Daredevil fight. So glad he was here again. Another thing that this show kind of brought home to me that I hadn't been realizing yet, but makes a lot of sense, is that these shows just tend to like, they shy away from like real fight scenes.
Yeah.
And fighting, because like in Luke Cage there really wasn't any of that, and the fight scene at the end on episode 13 was just so dumb, so strange and clunky.
Yeah. He's not really a martial artist,
right?
Though.
But the Iron Fist himself in Iron Fist, he never felt very strong either.
No,
there was a couple of real cool moves that he did.
Yeah,
that was fine, but like the rest of it wasn't like nothing has happened yet that I think has measured up to either the hallway fight from the first season of Daredevil or the chain fight.
In the
from the second season, Stairwell. That is so cool.
Yeah.
And so well done, and you can see everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, and in, I think a lot of other things, is the camera's so close up that you can't tell that they're maybe not hitting each other.
Or it's in a very dark place. There was a lot of fighting in the dark.
They're hiding all of the...
He has a glowing fist. Why is it everything so...
Right. And it's just... Or there's times when... they could be fighting longer, but the bad guys just run away for some reason. Or they could be fighting longer, but... So the scene where Stick goes to kill Homeboy. We could have had, like...
Goes to kill Iron Fist?
Yes.
Oh, he's trying to... when he realizes that, the best way to keep the hand from you is just kill you.
He throws the smoke up into Luke, so Luke is down, he's not 100%.
Which, that scene bothered me a lot.
Yeah.
Because...
It was stupid. Because Stick should have died years ago.
Yeah, well, that
and it never should have happened.
But my thing is, like, the smoke takes out Luke Cage, but it didn't affect Iron Fist, and it didn't affect Stick. Is it some kind of superhuman smoke?
No, it did affect Iron Fist.
What did it do?
He passed out. Because you remember, it pans, and you see the smoke kind of by Iron Fist, and he passes out. While he's still tied up. Because when she picks him up, he's passed out. He's not awake whenever Elektra takes him.
I guess.
He passes out. She kills Stick, she knocks out Jessica and Daredevil.
But it didn't affect Elektra either.
Precisely. I don't know, David. I don't have answers for you.
That's so weird.
It knocked out Luke, and it knocked out... Yeah, it's dumb. It's another dumb thing that they did, another dumb contrived situation. But this is a situation where, because Luke was doped up, because Daredevil and Jessica Jones were out and scared, and so they were running in, and because Stick is stupid and Iron Fist was tied up, there wasn't much for Elektra to do.
Yeah.
She shows up. Luke is basically not... She doesn't have to do much for Luke. I think she kicks him once.
Didn't have to kill... She didn't have to fight
She
Iron
punches
Fist.
Iron Fist. No, she didn't have to fight Iron Fist. She punches Daredevil. She punches Jessica Jones. She kills Stick. Done.
Then she leaves. That's
Whereas
the fight.
if Stick hadn't have done that, and she'd have come in, and if Luke Cage was untied, maybe they'd been talking for a while, and they were, I don't know, thinking about...
They were kind of coming to some kind of consensus. Or
right, and
kind of like
untied
on the same
him,
page.
Luke Cage was fine. Come in, it would have been a good fight. Been something
Yeah.
different. It would have been something actually worth watching, and she could have... Maybe we could have seen her beat them, and would have established better that she was a great fighter, and she could have taken Iron Fist. Or we could have seen them do something. We've had another opportunity for Luke and Iron Fist to fight together.
That would have been great. Because that's something I just thought about.
But no,
there's a fight. There's a fight scene at one point during the show where it's like all of them fighting, and like this like hip hop song kicks on.
It's at the end.
And it feels very weird.
It's very strange.
And just out of place.
Yep.
If they had a fight where it was Luke Cage and Iron Fist, they could have kicked that tune on there.
That would have been great.
And that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing
fantastic.
for that scene.
And it could have been played, like, I think the music wasn't played very loudly, and then the fighting wasn't done in accordance with the music.
Way. No, it wasn't.
So it just made it kind of dumb.
It just felt like a weird
But yeah,
thing.
if that song had just come on real loudly when Luke and Iron Fist were beating the crap out of some people because those two characters do listen to hip hop music, that would have been cool.
Yeah. No, it would have been perfect because you're right. I totally forgot. Luke Cage, Iron Fist totally listens to hip hop.
That
music.
was like
that was his big
from
thing.
his iPod, probably.
Yeah.
And then it was so stupid, and like they just packaged Iron Fist for the hand, like in their attempt to keep him from getting to the hand.
Yeah.
Because of Stick, in this moment, they just gave him to them.
Yeah.
Passed out and
no
tied
fight
up.
whatsoever.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on? Like, the hand didn't have to do anything. They just had to show up at the right time.
Yeah.
And they just picked him up. They're like, okay, bye. And that was it. Okay, again, let's move into Stick. Yes. I hate this human
Stick is awful. Stick is the
stupidest
worst.
thing. He's an example of a character that I hate that's in so many things, which is a guy who has all the answers and knows a lot of things that would be real great for everybody else to know.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, usually dumb reasons or no reason at all, just doesn't share that info.
Yep. Doesn't tell nobody.
He's known all of this nonsense.
Not only that, but Stick's information when we finally get it in Defenders could have been put on a post-it or something.
Yes.
And that was like the easiest thing.
He could have emailed this to everybody on the team. Like,
yeah.
Hey guys, just notes for what's coming up. You know, these guys are the hand. These are their leaders. They're trying to, live forever. And there's a thing under the city that will let them live forever. And they're trying to get at that. So let's not let them get at that. And
he's part of it. He's part of a group called the Chaste.
Yes.
Where is an army of people that are trying to fight the Hand.
Yes.
Which we never saw.
No.
They were all just slaughtered, as far as we know.
Yep.
Hand is Stick is the only one alive,
supposedly.
And I'm like,
which I don't buy.
Chase doesn't do. They don't do like recruiting. Like Stick could have been like talking to these guys in their shows and been like, "Hey, I got this thing going on. There's this war going on. I don't know if you know about it, but we're looking for people to join up."
And not even. I don't understand. Why he's so vague about stuff.
Yeah.
He's just like, hey, there's this war, and look, you gotta just blindly trust me and do everything I say. Elsewise, the bad guys are gonna win. And I'm like, why don't you just share the information you have, you idiot?
Yeah.
And then people can, fix this nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, he knew all of it. Nothing he said could not have been said to Daredevil eons ago.
Yeah.
Not even in the context of the show. It could have just been said when he was growing up.
Yeah.
Like,
not only that, but my thing is, like, these are things that even if Stick didn't say it, anybody could have, like, mentioned this at some point. Like, somebody could have run into, like, the Daredevil in his experiences with the Hand in his show could have stumbled upon these little bits of information that Stick was holding so dear.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
and
this stuff wasn't even that important.
Yeah.
Like,
and just all he did was tell you who was leading the team and kind of what they were trying to do, but not really.
But not really, because they didn't really even know until, like, the last minute.
And then I solemnly believe that he actually did know what Iron Fist was for.
Yeah.
And that he put two and two together when they found out that their Hand was trying to get Iron Fist. Because, again, I harken back to this, which will probably never be explained, ever, and there's probably nothing to learn from it.
Why would we explain anything, Ethan?
Episode 7 of Daredevil Season 1 is called Stick. It is the episode where Stick is introduced,
Yeah.
and we learn about stuff, and he kills a child. And at the end of the episode, Stick kneels down across from someone who we assume to be his leader, possibly the leader of the chase.
Yeah.
Since Stick may not be, unless Stick is the leader of the chase, and the chase is a separate group from this person. I don't know. He's talking to this man who is a big scarred man. He's got no shirt on, and you see him from behind, so you don't see his face. You don't know who he is. He doesn't say his name. He's probably something from the comics that's important. I don't know. I haven't taken the time to look it up. The man asks Stick. The Stick tells the man that like he's not ready or like he's not going to be a part of the chase. Whatever. Daredevil's not in on this thing. Anymore. And the man looks at him and says, "Will he be ready when the door is opened, or when the door is open?" Which
I don't even remember this scene.
that literally happens, and I've been thinking about it since it first happened.
Yeah.
In that season 1, because I'm like, this has to be a reference to what's gonna happen in the Defenders.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it was, and that this man knew that there was a door under New York that was going to be opened.
Yeah.
And that Daredevil would have to be a part of it, or that Matt would have to be a part of this army, whatever, and try to help stop it. I don't know what makes Matt so great.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
He's like a prodigy or something. I don't know.
I don't
He's good. I like him,
great.
I don't know
good.
what it's...
Again, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why Stick was so obsessed with him.
It could have something to do with so there's a similar story with Green Arrow's backstory in the comics as far as the New 52 version of Green Arrow goes. Like so when they did the New 52, they revamped a lot of the characters and they changed some of their backstories, and they changed Arrow's backstory in that instead of it just being like him like stranded on an island and his parents are killed and blah blah blah, like all that stuff still happened, but they go into later on in the comics. It turns out that like his father comes from a long line of like this like clan of warriors, basically, or a group of clan of warriors where there's each of these individual clans specializes in a particular type of weaponry. In this case, a bow and arrow, and so like genetically, the people that are in his family are just predisposed to using arrows, and so like he fights other descendants of these other clans that have turned villainous, basically, that are like you know sword masters and spear masters and things like that. And so I'm like, it may be something like that, like maybe Daredevil like comes from like maybe his heritage, like his father was a boxer. True. Like maybe like someone down the line, maybe an ancestor of his was some kind of great fighter or great warrior or something that we haven't heard about yet.
We did hear talk early on about.
I don't know if that is that is in the comics, but that may be something they do for the show.
I don't know. We heard talk early on in Daredevil about the Murdoch boys and how they have the devil in them.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something mystical or special about the Murdoch in this show. Maybe
I thought this would be a little bit more mystical than it was. Like, it turned out more mystical than the other shows.
Yeah.
But I thought with Doctor Strange being introduced in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Ghost Rider being introduced in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we'd get, like, some ties to, like, maybe the literal devil, or maybe some ties to magic in general.
What's his name?
Mephisto?
Mephisto.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he'd pop up. Oh, you know, I don't know. Or, like, any of those people you just mentioned would pop up. Because I feel like, you know, Doctor Strange would probably know something about what's going on. And just, like, but that's the other limit up to this particular set, the Marvel Netflix set, is, you know, they have a smaller budget.
Yeah.
They probably can't afford to bring in any big actors, even for just a sec.
Yeah.
Just because of that. And that's troubling. I hope that changes in the future.
Yeah.
I hope they do try to reconnect with the MCU a bit more, because they just seem to be pulling away from it.
Yeah, they do. They just seem to pull it more. Like, at least in the other shows, they even had references to the Avengers or like, it did not at all feel like this show took place in the same universe. Like, it just didn't. Like, everybody, like, not just, like, the fact there were no references, but the fact that the characters just didn't even, like, seem to act as if S.H.I.E.L.D. ever existed. The Triskelion, the Triskelion didn't fall on national television. Like they didn't talk about the Sokovia Accords. No mention of anything that happened in the course of Spider-Man Homecoming. Like, well,
and we don't know where the timeline is, though.
Yeah, and I get that.
We know this happened right after Avengers.
Yeah.
It could easily this could all be happening before Civil War, before Ultron. Could be happening between there, this little window.
Yeah, I mean,
or it could be after all of that. I don't know. We don't really know. I think they're just trying to separate themselves. I think, as much as they can.
And it just feels so. Yeah, just unclear, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it is strange. But, yeah, other things could and should be popping up, but they're not. But yeah, I mean, that's how I felt about a lot of things in Luke Cage.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember things specifically now, but I mean, just like stuff happens in there that you would think,
with like the rocket launcher taking at the shop. Like, why wouldn't S.H.I.E.L.D. be called, or wouldn't the federal government be called?
Right, yeah.
Like,
why wouldn't anything other than this local dumb Harlem police department be involved in this?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah, and...
But like, on the same side, like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe isn't really big on interacting with their different... Like, it feels like while these different shows and movies exist in the same universe, it doesn't really feel that way. Like, because I've been working my way through the most recent season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which, by the way, is amazing. I'm going to talk about it at some point later on.
Cool.
But this last season has been really good on like a lot of fronts. They've done really cool arcs, but like there's been a lot of big changes to S.H.I.E.L.D. as an organization, and it's come back in the public light in a big way in that they've come out as being this big agency that works for the government again. And like they haven't shown that Coulson's alive. Like they have a different director that's been like the face of S.H.I.E.L.D. basically. Mm-hmm. But like Inhumans are everywhere. They're just all over. And we know in that show that the world has changed in that like because of the events of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. basically Inhumans are popping out of the woodwork. And I know they're going to do an Inhumans show, or they're currently doing one.
Yep.
I hear it's awful. I don't know. But my thing is like...
It doesn't look great as well.
Like, why that's not mentioned in anything else?
No.
It's not mentioned in the movies.
Nope.
It's not mentioned in the Netflix show. Nada.
Yeah. And I think
just like...
it's something that Marvel has kind of shot itself in the foot over, because the first seamless transition. Look, everyone, we're trying to figure out where we were. We had to pause because I had to go see if there was some way to keep my nephew from yelling and being heard in our podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast nephew.
Podcast nephew. Yes, quite.
Yeah, but I don't know. You may very well hear him again. I apologize. Just tweet in and remind us where we were. Yeah, I think we were talking about the MCU. That's right. I was talking about... I think Marvel has shot itself in the foot in that the first set of films in the Avengers, like the first round...
Yeah, first phase.
First phase, that's a word. That's the word. All that was...
Phase 1.
Very well planned out, and people were trying to coordinate as well as they could.
Yeah. I mean, that was years in the making. They were they were all on the same page for a while.
Writers and directors were like, "Oh, this happened. Maybe I should change something in my movie. Let's help make these things fit." Yada yada, different things like that. And so, like, I think we're used to this Marvel feeling of everything working out together and everything being connected.
Yeah,
and we're so used to that it's more apparent in stuff like this where it's not as well connected.
Yeah,
where it claims to be connected, but it's not as well connected. Again, that's that thing where, hey, this is Luke Cage, but really it's not though. We're here, we're like, yeah, it's just the same universe, but really it's not though. Like it doesn't add up as to it just wouldn't be the same universe. But I don't know. Maybe they will do some changes later on. And again, we don't know the time frame here.
Yeah, we don't know when this is.
This again may not have. This may be before the fall of the S.H.I.E.L.D. This may be, or maybe before whatever S.H.I.E.L.D. did that's making all the Inhumans show up. You know, it may be before the Sokovia Accords or anything like that, or it could be after that. We don't know. Maybe all the heroes have died. And
I don't know. Doesn't Missy Knight mention something about a superpowered person or something like that, or like when she's trying to arrest everybody and she's trying to put them on charge, whatever.
I'm gonna put you in a cell with 2 other superpowered people.
But before that, like, I thought they mentioned something about them being superpowered or whatever. Like, they didn't say these Sokovia Accords, but I thought they were going to mention them at some point because it was like, I don't know if she referred to them as being unregistered or something, but something... there was this tense moment where it felt like she was implying that it was illegal to be superpowered.
I don't know.
And
it felt that way to me. What it felt like to me was there's a point where she threatens to put Matt, and because Matt's trying to talk her down and let them out. But there's a point where she's trying to talk Matt into cooperating, and she says to him, "If you don't figure something out, if you slip up, whatever, I'm going to put you into a jail cell with 2 other superpowered people." And I at first thought she was referring to some superpowered people that they'd already detained.
Yeah,
but when I'm thinking about it now, I think it was just she was just
talking
referring
about
to the
Jessica
two
Jones
people
and Luke
next
Cage,
to him.
yeah.
She's like,
Which I was like,
which
to me is not a threat.
No, it's
like
not.
they were on the
Like,
same side,
yeah.
obviously. Like,
Also, I hate the fact
another.
I hate the fact that the police found them and brought them to the.
Wait, the police found them
So this is immediately after what we were just talking about, when Elektra swoops in, knocks everybody out,
Oh,
kills
yeah.
Stick, takes Luke,
yeah, she
takes
smashes through
Iron
the
Fist,
wall or whatever, and then
the beginning of the next episode, we're just panning over all of these bodies that are
And
just
the
lying
police have
there.
discovered
And then
them.
everybody wakes up in the police department. Jessica Jones is being interrogated again with her handcuffs for no reason.
Yeah.
Misty has no reason to believe that Jessica would have been the one to knock everyone out and kill Stick and kill Sawande. Because Sawande is the member of the Hand who's dead.
I'm going to get back to him in a second. I have some thoughts about him.
And then, but for some reason she's Jessica Jones is handcuffed and she's being interrogated. Meanwhile, Luke Cage is fine and Murdoch is just lying on the couch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is...
Yeah.
I hate you, Misty. Go away.
They were all...
Again,
yeah.
Misty just impeding progress.
Yeah, no,
That's
it just...
all she's doing.
It's
It's like, hold up. Y'all can't go be superheroes. You got to do what I'm saying. And I'm like, girl, just let them go be superheroes. Like,
just let them be superheroes.
I think she just wants to be a superhero so bad, David.
She does.
Which is why I'm glad.
Maybe
when
she gets her bionic arm.
Maybe she'll become a vigilante.
Maybe she'll become
a vigilante. Screw the police, and then she'll go do her own thing.
In the comics, Misty Knight with her robotic arm, like she's like a threat to Wolverine. Like she's like a decent character.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
she's one of the daughters of the
dragon. She
dragon.
could nag anyone to death. Like, you know what I mean? Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I'd keel over dead. Crawl up into the fetal position and be like, just stop talking, please. Please stop talking. Please stop talking. She'll just keep talking. I'll be like, she's probably the only one that
and then you give up the ghost.
Yep. Just,
yeah, no, I get that. It keep coming back to her. Yeah, no, she was a drag on it.
annoying.
She was a drag on it real bad. Yeah, but like,
I was just reminded about Stick while we're talking about annoying people.
Yes.
We've established that he's annoying and that he should have just shared the information that he had.
Yes.
Which is again how I felt about Yondu, who I'm always afraid that I'm pronouncing his name wrong, from
Yondu, I think that's right. Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I brought that up in our episode about that.
Yep.
Where like he could have just told Rocket, hey, Ego is going to kill this guy and we should go save him. But instead, Rocket makes the decision to go save Peter Quill from Ego. And just because he got a bad feeling from what Yondu was saying about it. And I'm like,
yeah.
Or Yondu
could have just told you that Ego was the bad guy.
Yes, like he had that information and has had it for years now and never told Peter about it for some weird reason. Yeah. I'm just like, why? Just because we wanted to have a nice reveal at the end of the movie in the third act.
For it to be really a twist. Yeah,
just so the audience.
But even then, like. We didn't really trust him at that point.
Yes.
Not to get on that topic for too long, but like it again in that same situation, just like in this show and in that show and in that movie, the lack of information didn't help the story, in my opinion. Like the story would have worked out just fine if the characters also were all on the same page and also knew this information. Like there was no reason to withhold it. I feel that way about a lot of these shows. Or a lot of these movies and stuff. When I think about this, I think about early seasons of Arrow and Flash and how they hide their identity from their friends.
Yeah,
like I understand, don't let their identity get out to the public. That's fine, but like, tell your friend, like, because they're like.
I like how Flash.
If I tell you, you're gonna be in danger, and blah 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 blah. I'm like. If the bad guys are as intelligent as we believe they are to be, they're gonna find out anyway. They're gonna find out who you are, and all that would be all you telling them their secret identity would be doing is just helping them understand why this villain is after you.
Yeah,
and I just
because you're an idiot.
Yeah,
but like the reason I brought up Stick again is I want to talk about his stump.
Yeah,
I love it. It's hilarious to me because
it's so bad,
so far below the finger line of his other hand. It's hilarious.
You told me about it before I even saw it, and I was like, man, I wonder if it is as noticeable as he says. But when you saw it, I was like, no, I would have noticed it.
Like it looks like even the sleeve of his arm of that. It looks like even the sleeve of his shirt is longer on that side, the side that's had its hand cut off.
Yeah,
it's so annoyingly
It's such
obvious.
a bad effect.
It's so bad. It is so bad. It's like you know how like sometimes they're just like just clench up your fist and we'll wrap bandages around it and that'll be it. It's like in this, they were like, stick your hand out flat as you can get it, as long as you can get it, and we'll wrap bandages around that.
Yeah, right?
Like, this looks horrible.
Yeah, no, it looks awful.
So dumb. Anyway, that's all I had to say about Stick.
Yeah, no,
glad he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. I wonder if you could...
He's running around the house. He's discovered that he can... my nephew has discovered that he can waddle around in place. It doesn't get fully dizzy, but he gets pretty close to dizzy. And he just screams as he does it. And he's just like, ah, and just spins around.
Oh my god!
And so that's what he's been doing for like half an hour. Throughout while we've been doing this, that's what. If you've been hearing podcast nephew, that is exactly what he's doing.
Ah, yes.
Isn't the world grand?
Interesting. Isn't the world grand? I always worried he had a neck problem or something because I've seen him do that, and I thought he's crazy
everywhere. He is crazy.
But yeah, I love your imitation of his wobble.
For the benefit of David only.
Yes.
But yeah, this is something that bothered me. We sound like we don't like this show.
Yeah.
I think this show is fine.
This show is fine, yeah, okay. Yeah, we haven't really, yeah.
Most of my bugs are inconsistencies in the story and characters that I don't like.
Yes.
Because they're just done poorly. This is something that bothered me. And it's along the same lines as the scarred guy that Homeboy was talking, that Stick was talking to. It's like, who is that guy? Is he going to come back? Stick kills a child who is the Dark Sky. Or Black
Sky, yeah. Black Sky.
And the first season of
Daredevil, yeah.
Just murks him. Cold-blooded, strikes him down. Why, given the context of the show, given everything we've seen, all the explanations we have, why could they not have just used that kid as the Black Sky after he died?
Yeah. Why not bring him back to life instead of bringing Elektra back?
Because Elektra was dead.
From a narrative perspective, they could have just done that, yeah.
Yes. You just negated that whole thing.
Yeah.
You just, like... they were like, oh, we can't use this one, he's got a hole in him. That's all it was. Like, they were just like, oh, well, we're going to use Elektra because... that's cooler, I guess.
They made the twist that Elektra was actually the Black Sky the whole time or something at Daredevil.
From what I understand, there are different Black Skies. Like, there are people that meet the criteria for it.
Okay.
She is one of them.
Okay.
And they were trying to create the Black Sky. And from what I understand, the way to make the Black Sky is just to bring someone back to life who meets the proper criteria using the substance, which they could have done with this kid who was dead.
And Elektra could have still been, like, a bloodlusty semi-hero.
Could just been an anti-hero. Like, why did, like... The fact that she was brought back to life to be the Black Sky makes it seem like everything that Stick has been doing to kill other Black Skies has been meaningless.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, the way he had portrayed, the way they had been portraying the Hands upper levels, like Gao and them, I had assumed that they were like all like drinking something that made them slowly age or something, or
Immortals,
make them make them get them longevity of some kind. But if all they've really been doing is just bringing each other back to life again every time they die, then like, why wouldn't Stick know that? Like,
but the thing about it is like,
why wouldn't Stick see that? Oh, the solution isn't to kill this kid; it's we should capture him and take him, because if he dies, they'll just bring him back.
Yeah.
Like,
and then, like, bringing people back is so strange, though, because it seems to me like once you are brought back, you're back for good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every time you die, you'll just come back again. Unless your head's cut off, apparently, is the...
Right, unless your head's cut off, or unless you're really old.
Apparently. Yeah, because Sigourney Weaver's character was going to, quote-unquote, die for good with this, whatever her organs were doing.
Right, and I guess so would the rest of them, unless they got more substance in them. So it seems like the substance is something you need every few centuries,
I guess,
or so,
maybe,
in order to stay alive. Because Homeboy from
Iron Fist
just popped back up.
Yeah.
He didn't have no solution in him after he was killed by Ward.
He just woke back up again.
Woke back up. Walked back into town. That was it.
Yep.
And Nobu, as far as we know, probably did the same thing.
He was lit on fire when he died. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was how he got taken down.
Yeah. So like, also, why were they harvesting blood from all of those people?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I was thinking about that too, because that had nothing to do with the dragon. That had nothing to do with the substance.
The only thing I can assume is that they would mix blood with the bones
from the dragon
to acquire the
from
liquid.
some other dragon, maybe, like, because they mentioned that this catastrophe had happened like with Pompeii, and suggested like other catastrophes were other situations like this where they were, some other city was being held up by the bones of a dragon.
Some city was being
and they harvested
founded
them
on the carcass of a dragon and needed to be destroyed so they could acquire the dragon bones and make more of the solution. Yeah,
my question is, that premise bothered me too, about the story being there's a dead dragon underneath New York City, and if we take it to make ourselves immortal, it'll destroy New York City. Because my thing is, like,
foundations will continue to weaken.
That's not how mining works. Like, say for instance that is how this worked. Say for instance that is how, like, if we were to get, how much of the dragon could they possibly harvest before New York just collapsed and they were locked out for good? You know what I mean? Like, you get like 2 ribs, 3 ribs. Like, how much of the dragon could you harvest?
Apparently, it must be all of it.
Yeah.
Once you get all of it out of there, then
the magic,
and only then, the magic that is holding up New York City would just fall down, and New York would collapse in on itself. And whatever chapter of Doctor Strange's thing that's there would cease to exist, supposedly.
Yeah, whatever. Chapter of I know what you're talking about. The whatever their institutes were called. I don't know what the buildings are called. And Sanctums.
Sure, yeah, Sanctum Sanctorum.
Sanctum Sanctorum, yeah.
There
you go.
I
don't know, man. And my thing is, like, if it's really the dragon's power, Iron Fist gets his power from the dragon. Why couldn't Iron Fist make some sort of thing to, like, hold up New York, even if the dragon was harvested? Like, why?
Well, his power was just the one that sealed the door to the
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they keep inventing more powers for Iron Fist.
Well, my question is, why include the premise or the idea that pulling the bones out would destroy the city?
I don't know. You
don't need to.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't. Like, it doesn't make them any more. It ups the stakes more. Yeah, but it doesn't. The stakes doesn't need to be higher than the bad guys will become immortal.
Precisely, yes. Exactly my case. Like, these guys are bad, and they mean bad business for everything. Madame Gal's already been involved in heroin and making life in New York worse than it already was.
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of reasons to already go, like, and homeboy Iron Fist.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about New York City.
No.
He said at the end that it's feeling more and more like home, which is good. That's another good point towards Iron Fist at the end of this 8-episode series, which is at the end of his 13-episode series, where he should have already been Iron Fist, but whatever. Anyways, he's not fighting these people because he loves New York City. He's fighting them because that's quote,
he was
unquote,
told
his
to
destiny.
fight the hand. Yes, yeah.
Whatever.
I like that Elektra mentions that in their fight towards the end, where she's just like, "Oh, you're doing this because the masters told you to," and like, didn't she imply that she killed all their masters or something?
Yeah, no, she's the one who said, "I killed everybody.
I killed everybody. Yeah, I killed all your masters.
Killed them. Killed them dead."
Which to me, it's just like his reaction, of course, would be to get violent because that's his always reaction. But my thing is just like, why would he still feel tied to this from a Destiny's perspective? If anybody he would have reported to is gone now.
I don't know.
Like, I can understand if he was a genuinely good guy and we knew Iron Fist deep down inside felt responsible for his power that, like, Spider-Man does. You know what I mean? Like, the great power, great responsibility. I could see him still wanting to do this cause, but he's really only fighting them because he was told to fight them.
There's also the assumption early on that he's doing it for revenge as well. At least against Madame Gal, because she killed his parents.
Yeah, I guess. But then we found out Meacham did that, didn't we?
It was Gal. It was Gal helped Meacham.
Yeah, okay.
Also, he loved the people in Kunlun. Like, they were his friends. They
abused him, though, didn't
they? I don't know, David.
It feels so weird.
But he apparently had friends because one of them came back for him.
But his friend I never bought his friend.
David, no one...
I never at all bought his friend.
No one in Iron Fist
made sense.
Is real. Yeah,
it's real.
They don't have real motivations. It's so strange. I don't know.
No, I didn't know. Yeah.
Regardless, he's not fighting for New York.
Yeah, no.
Jessica's not fighting for New York.
No, but I could see her fighting for New York more than Iron Fist for sure. Being that she lives in New York,
more for Iron Fist,
but this is
she's fighting because she's kind of been dragged into this, and because she sees how bad the hands are, and she sees that it can mess with the people.
I do, and
she's
I also
fighting for people.
I do feel she's empathetic to their cause. Yeah,
got you. Daredevil loves New York.
He loves New York.
He will fight to destroy it, but he will fight to defend it. But he will also fight the hand, just because he's been fighting the hand.
Yeah. Like he already knows
he understands how bad they are.
And they've already messed with his life.
Luke Cage is the only one who would not have gotten involved in this unless New York City was in peril.
Yeah.
Because again, the only reason he's involved in this is because Harlem's going to get hurt if New York gets hurt. Transitive property. So I'm like...
So that's why that's what you're saying is the reason why they had to put in the story that if you take the dragon out, New York falls.
Because otherwise Luke would have been like, nah, I'm not interested.
Yeah, you just be like, you guys can become immortal. It doesn't affect my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing I can see.
I guess. No, that's a good point. I never thought about that, but it does feel that way. Like it's...
Motivation. Yeah. I care so much about motivation in these things.
No, I do too, bro.
So poorly
I definitely do, and it does not make a lot of sense. Gosh. But the villains too, like the villains, I felt like not their motivations, but an inconsistency I felt with the hand overall was they talked about how like they've been around for a long, long time. They've been around for an unreasonable amount of time, basically, and they don't get along, and they've turned on each other before. But here it's like they could actually hurt / kill one another if they wanted to and get away with it because now they're out of the substance or something. Yeah. And I'm just like, how did this not happen before? Like, how is this particular situation never happened before?
Supposedly it had. Supposedly, I think what it was is that they were all even young. Well, they were younger, and so they were all a bit more spry, probably, because they have a conversation in Alexandria, and other people say things like, I've fought off assassination attempts from people in this room.
Yeah.
So, like, we've all been there. We've all tried to kill each other. Don't worry about it. Just don't do it this time, okay? Please, pretty please.
Yeah.
Don't want to die.
Yeah.
And
yeah, they're all so worried about dying, the mortality, and I understand that because it's like from a human perspective, like everyone, to some degree, is afraid of dying, afraid of giving up the ghosts.
Want to get back to Kunlun?
Yeah.
Which I don't understand.
Which is apparently their home.
Because apparently they destroyed it. Yeah, they were banished from Kunlun.
I know, but they talk about Kunlun like it's heaven or something. Like it's their true home. Like
it's a pretty nice place.
Yeah, and
there's dragons there.
I don't know.
Speaking to another point, do you think Shao-Lao is the last remaining dragon? I think that's why he's called the Undying.
Shao-Lao should be. I think
so.
Probably the Undying. That's another thing they talked about. Shao-Lao, like. They talk about Shao-Lao as if he is dead in this show. Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Well, like, that's the thing, because they're
like, you ripped out his heart. And I'm just like,
well, no, but he's like, you desecrate his legacy or whatever. Something. He says something goofy.
I feel like they talk more specifically. Like I know they did some vague stuff like that too, but I felt like at one point Gal, like, basically, like, she basically, like, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Accused Danny of killing Shao-Lao almost. And I'm just like, wait, what? They never even called him the Undying in this. Like, he is an immortal dragon.
Yeah.
Not only that, they keep calling him the immortal Iron Fist. Why? He's not immortal. We know that. There's nothing about his character that says he's immortal.
It might just be because there's always an Iron Fist.
Maybe. And I compared it to the Avatar.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, but it's
the immortal Avatar.
Yeah. But even then,
in the sense that there's always
an Iron Fist. Sure, I guess.
I imagine that's what it is.
Probably.
There's funny names for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I know, but like
the hand,
the
5 fingers of the hand. Okay. But also,
I did like that. So one thing I did like about the hand was that I like that the situation caught them in a sense that they didn't have their immortality. Like they were out of the substance, so they felt still scary, but not overwhelming. Like, it felt like a threat that Defenders could handle, even as ragtag and goofy as they were. They could kind of, like, faff about and finally like beat them because these guys were touchable basically.
Yeah.
But it did feel like inconsistent with the threat level of the hand as a whole, in that it felt like they were omnipresent. Like they knew where everything was, except for when the story directed them not to.
Correct.
And I'm like,
it also
what?
felt like they weren't as strong individually as members of the hand we've seen in the past.
Yes.
For instance, Nobu.
Yeah.
Daredevil fought Nobu and just about died trying to not die against Nobu.
Yeah.
Set him on fire, threw him out a window, whatever, and then got beat up by Fisk, who showed up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that was Nobu, and Nobu's not even top level.
Yeah.
Whereas, I don't know, everybody could kind of beat up everybody in this show.
Yeah.
But
Except
again,
for maybe Gao.
Again,
maybe.
Well, yeah, Gao had that crazy Yoda force thing.
She had this. Her powers seem very like tactile telekinesis.
She didn't even touch some of it sometimes.
I know, but like
it was weird.
But like, I'm saying like it seemed like her telekinesis was used to like protect her from a lot of the damage. I guess I don't know.
But again, the hand, they're all very old at this point, so I guess that.
Yeah, but
although
she also seemed to be the only one with psychic powers.
Yeah, it seemed like each of them kind of did different things. I don't
kind of, but they never went into that. Like
know.
You saw what's his name, Bakudo get shot in the chest a few times by Misty Knight and not even like blink. Mm-hmm. But you chop his head off and he's dead for good. And I was like,
well, I think at that point he was like, I'm gonna get my substance, so it doesn't matter. I can take some bullets. Let's go.
Yeah, but I mean, like even then, like bullets still hurt. You know what I mean? Like he didn't even slow. Like I thought he was like it just felt it. I thought. It looked like he blocked the bullets or something. Like maybe he like done some sort of psychic thing, but he didn't actually move.
I thought we were going to see somebody block bullets with a sword. I thought that was going to come up.
Yeah.
I thought that's what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Which would have been cool to see.
That would have been pretty
cool.
That
definitely didn't happen.
But at the same time, the other thing that bothered me so much was that when they kidnapped, you mentioned his name earlier, one of the fingers of the hand. Sawande. He knew everything about their lives, all the people they engaged with, all of their friends and family. Mm-hmm. He knew about them. He knew about their routines. He knew about where they were and all stuff like that. And the hand had no idea that they would hide their friends at the police precinct. Like...
Oh, that's the other thing. I was almost certain that the hand was going to show up at that.
Yeah, I was waiting for it every episode. I thought any episode. I was like, at any point... And Missy Knight... That's another thing. This, not to get back on her for too long.
Oh, please.
But the whole time... She's taking the credit for protecting their family, like quote unquote protecting. She's like, I've been protecting your people, blah 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 blah. I'm like, what have you done? Has a single threat shown up? Have you had a suspicious character come near the precinct?
Bringing them coffee.
I'm like,
that's it.
You've just kept them sitting in a room for a couple days.
And like with as many connections as the hand has, and with as many times as we've seen corrupt cops, you'd think. Something would have happened here in the precinct.
Right. And they kept claiming to be tracking this criminal organization, and they showed no evidence of it.
Nope.
What? Who's tracking them?
Nope. That's the other thing that's ridiculous.
Cut to a police officer showing something.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's ridiculous about them being like, hey, you guys got to stop being all this hero stuff, because we got this under control, this is our thing. But like, you don't know. These guys have learned more in 24 hours about this organization than any of you have any idea about.
Yeah. Than you have ever learned in that however many years you've probably been studying this group.
Quote unquote tracking
this group, yes.
Yeah. It's real dumb. See, that's what I thought was going to happen when... That's when I thought Missy was going to lose her arm. Like, something was going to go down the precinct, she was going to be protecting people, and someone was going to come at her and she was going to lose an arm. Like,
go out in a blaze of glory or something.
Yeah, something cool.
Be something neat.
Something interesting.
Maybe see Foggy and Karen have to get into it with a ninja or something.
She shows up and is annoying again for a second before she's like, I'm just kidding, I'll hold off the police.
Not only that, she hands Colleen her sword and she tells her just in case. Mm-hmm. And Colleen doesn't ever leave the precinct until like the last episode or so. Mm-hmm. So I had assumed that something was going to go down and Colleen was going to have to fight a bunch of ninjas off at the precinct.
Nope.
Never happened.
She did get to fight Bakudo, so that's cool.
After she left the precinct.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, precinct's the safest place on earth. Y'all just should have stayed there. Probably wouldn't have been destroyed. I don't know, David.
And I talked to you about, in that similar note, how Luke Cage just seemed to just go anywhere he wanted and nobody stopped him.
No.
How did he beat
I talked with you, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Daredevil and Jessica Jones to the top of Midland Circle?
They talked about it in the last episode. He's like, I went up some back stairs. That's how I got here in episode 3 when y'all wasn't watching. He says that.
Oh, did he? Okay, I missed that bit.
He's the one who brings them to those back stairs when they get up, which is crazy because apparently those are the only stairs that don't lock whenever the whole thing is on lockdown. Because when the police get there, they're like, everything's on lockdown. We can't get in any of the doors. And I'm like, they just walked in a door.
Yeah.
And then he bent a pole around the door.
Yeah.
And then Misty shot the pole to pieces, I guess.
That bothered me.
Yeah, it was real dumb.
I was like, no.
It's dumb. There's another situation where like this just would have been cooler if they'd invaded the precinct. And at that point, it would have been... The police could have been like, you know what? We really don't have this. You guys got this. Go do your thing. We'll just lick our wounds here.
Yeah.
You go beat these people.
Yeah.
And then we could have had the cops on our side, but no.
The whole time they're like, we got to get bombs going out of here. We got to evacuate everybody. We got to kick in the doors. We got to do the thing. And then they show up like, as everybody's getting out, and they're basically holding everybody at gunpoint. And Luke Cage is like, no, I don't want to do this. And they just cut to them being in an ambulance outside. Everybody's fine. And all
I feel like
everybody's...
there's a scene that they cut.
And I'm just like, what could they have possibly done that deflated the situation?
I feel like he probably just rushed into all of them.
Yeah.
Like just straight through. So all of them would have turned their guns on him, and they would have just shot at him, and it wouldn't have hurt him, and then it would have ricocheted off of him and killed all of them.
Maybe.
And then just would have a bunch of dead SWAT guys, and he'd be like, all right. Now everybody.
And then the cops would just been like, safe. Okay, he seems like a nice guy. We'll keep him around. And everybody just stopped shooting at him forever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They all could have stood there and watched the building fall down, looking sad together, without anybody arresting anybody.
Yeah.
Which was strange.
That was very strange. Why did the city say, no, we're not going to press charges? You had nothing to do with this. When they actually were the ones that set the bombs. Like... The cops never found out about the hand that they killed. Like... It doesn't make any sense!
No. Also, question for you.
Yes.
Do you think Gal is dead?
Not a chance.
I don't think she's dead at all.
So this is the thing. I don't like that they've made this false setup for a heroic sacrifice. Because I was like, this is the thing. If that was the case, if they were going to be like, hey, we're going to have a heroic sacrifice, someone's going to actually give their life to save the defenders. Why make it Daredevil?
Why make it the best one of them, yeah.
Why make it the best viewed of the shows, critically? Like, why put him in a room with so many other important characters that if you were going to be like, this person actually survived, we're just going to assume that the other ones didn't survive? Like, there's no way Elektra's not dead. There's no way Gao's not dead.
Yeah,
there's no way the Japanese guy that Gao talked to isn't still alive.
If Daredevil made it out of here, then Elektra definitely made it out. Gal definitely made it out. And there's the possibility of the Japanese guy. He was stabbed through the chest.
He was stabbed through the chest, but he was still talking, and he was still aware. Yeah. He didn't have his head chopped off. Apparently that's the criteria.
Yeah. So, and then some would say they cheapen it at the end. But honestly, if they had not shown something of him surviving, I would have lost my mind.
I would have too.
I would have killed someone.
I would have been like, what an awful way to end the show.
Very happy that he was still alive at the end.
And at the same time, though, if they were going to do that way, why do it? Like, why not just have them all get away? That would be totally fine. For a story to be dark and gritty and important, a character doesn't have to die. Or fake die.
I feel
for that matter.
I feel like, again, that they're setting it up for something to come, for some new arc for him in the new show. Couple predictions I have.
Okay.
One, do they actually say Sister Maggie?
Yeah, they do. They do at the end of the show. Okay. They refer to a nun as Sister Maggie, which I'm led to believe is his mother in the comics. Yeah, so Maggie is his mother.
One prediction I had. I didn't hear the Sister Maggie part, so I didn't know if it was really a safe place that he was waking up.
Yeah.
One prediction I had was that maybe the person...
I mean, it still may not. There may be a League of Assassins ninjas.
Yeah, that's true. It might be the Foot Clan.
Right, the Foot Clan. That's Ninja Turtles.
Yes, it is. I'm thinking that the person in charge of him is is a bad person who has recovered him from this thing. Is a bad person and is maybe going to use him for bad things.
Could be.
Or that he's lost his memory or come back crazy, and is going to be a villain for someone else to fight before he comes back around. Like kind of how Elektra was. I hope that's not the route they go.
Yeah, I really hope not. But
I really do think he's going to have something to overcome.
Sure.
Related to this.
I think it'd be neat if...
Probably mental.
There's a mental... Or I would go as far as to say some sort of physical thing he has to overcome. Like, maybe the whatever trauma he took physically on his body, he has to recover similar to, but hopefully better than, the Dark Knight Rises, when Batman broke his back in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, that whole Batman arc getting his back broken and having to recover and stuff like that was done much better in the Dark Knight trilogy when Bane actually did in the comics. Or I forget, that's not really the name of the comic, but there's a comic where Bane, it's a long comic where Bane snaps Batman's back and he has to recover, and while he's doing that, he has another guy pose as Batman for a while. But yeah, I think it'd be neat if Daredevil had some sort of mental, like you said, or even physical restriction that kept him from being Daredevil that he had to overcome. Yeah. And it had to be like, but it would be one of those things where it's like, in the sense of both Dark Knight Rises and in the actual comic, while the wound is physical, it's really his mental struggle that's keeping him from getting back in the suit, basically. Those kinds of things. It's like he needs the drive to recover, basically, to overcome his mortal wounds. I don't know. That would be cool. I wouldn't mind that. I don't like the idea of there being another secret organization hidden behind the Hand.
That's the thing that I question.
I don't want it all to be like the Hand was really secretly working for Hydra. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want another.
Remind me to come back to Daredevil's death.
Daredevil's death. Okay. Quote unquote death.
So Alexandra, Sigourney Weaver's character,
is
having a conversation with the Japanese member of the Hand when the first time we were introduced to him.
I still remember his name. Yeah.
I don't think they say it very often. So when he's like devoweling this bear,
I love that he speaks Japanese the entire time, and everybody just speaks English to him.
Yeah,
it just there's never any confusion. I just think that's interesting. It's an interesting. I like that when movies do that. I don't know why. It just kind of makes me smile.
He just does whatever he wants to do. But yeah, he's pulling all the guts out of this bear, and they're having a conversation.
Yeah.
The way they have a conversation, it almost made me think that there was a member above the five. She was like, Alexandra was saying that we needed all hands on deck for this. We need everybody here to capture the Iron Fist, to get everything going as quickly as we can. And he's like, what does this mean? We're going to get our leader might even join in on the fight? And I think he was actually referring to her specifically, and she was maybe referring back in a third person to him.
Yeah, I think so. I think, because that's what I think too, because I thought the question wasn't the leader necessarily at first. I thought the question was if they're going to get their fifth member, basically. And that's why I was like, that's when Bakudo showed up later. And so, because he was dead, so they had to bring him back again, I guess.
She also mentions, though...
Or he would have to come back, I guess.
She says to him, like, remember who brought you back. Remember who gave you that life, that second life.
Yeah.
And it made me think that maybe these five people were inspired by some other entity.
Yeah, some other leader, maybe.
Maybe. A leader, or maybe like an actual like Mephisto type thing, like another crazy. Marvel
That would be
character.
That would be neat.
Not a human.
If they were to do that, it would be really neat to have them go cosmic or mystical.
Yes.
In the sense that, there's some sort of alien or demonic creature that actually gave them the substance or taught them how to use it or taught them how to get it or those kinds of things.
Or maybe the scarred guy that Stick was talking to is connected. We'll probably never know that.
We probably have no idea. No, it's probably never going to show up. I know. So, to touch on the Hand a little bit.
Oh, wait. Back to Daredevil real quick. Daredevil's death.
Go.
Did you call it?
That he was going to die? No,
I super called
not really, because this is my thing. Like, why kill a character? And even if you were going to kill a character, why Daredevil?
People are bad. Like, no, like I heard news about
Jeez,
homegirl. What's her name?
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones. I heard news about her second season and how that had started. It was already underway and all that nonsense, and I was like, if we're worried about her second season, we haven't worried about... I hadn't heard word about Daredevil season 3 yet, and I was like, holy crap, what if they're going to kill him? What if this means that they're going to kill him? And then Then, Foggy enables Daredevil to acquire his suit and go out and be Daredevil for the final bit of the show, and says to Karen, because Karen asks him why he would do that. He was like, well, because, this is something that he needs to do, and maybe once this is done, we can have Matt back. Maybe whenever this is done, we'll get Matt back. And I was like, he's going to die. Obviously he's going to die. Because he's the only good one of these people. He's the only one who doesn't deserve to die, and these people are expecting a good thing out of this, which means we're going to get a bad thing out of it. That's just how this is going to work. And I was like, I was like, yeah. So I just ruined that for myself. But yeah, that totally happened.
So this is the thing. So my thought process didn't go that way because, like I said, why kill a character? Why?
Well, I think you're maybe more optimistic,
but also
a little bit more pessimistic.
No, because it's just. I don't feel optimistic about it. If anything, I feel pessimistic about it. Like, I was like, why would they go this dark or this dumb writing route?
Right, because you're like, oh, why would you do this stupid thing?
Yeah, okay.
Why wouldn't you just do the good thing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're definitely going to do something stupid, and they're definitely going to kill someone who doesn't deserve it, and it's definitely going to be Daredevil because he's the one I like the most, and probably everyone else.
Yeah.
Unless you like Jessica Jones, which I guess is fine, but you probably just like it because you like to be sad, in which case you'd be more sad.
I mean, yeah, killing her off would be great because it'd be like an arc or something, and every time someone finishes an arc, we should just kill them.
Precisely, exactly. That's the other thing. It's like Daredevil had gotten to this point where he was like, I'm just going to be Daredevil. This is my life. He said that to Karen. Yeah. Karen was like, you can have your life back. And he was like, this is my life. Daredevil is my life.
I love that moment because I was just
awesome. This dude's gonna.
Because at that point, I was just like, I don't want to talk to this girl ever again. I want him to. I want Karen and Foggy out of the show.
Let's either that or for them to get with the picture.
Yeah,
and realize that he's not stopping this, and he could really
get on the train.
He could really
get out of the way.
A friend.
Yeah,
to just be like, hey, how was your night? It was rough. I bet it was. Let's go have a beer or something.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like just something.
Exactly. Like. And
why?
It feels to me like Daredevil feels to me like a Marvel's Batman, basically. And Batman has people like that in his life, whether they're vigilantes like him or not, that he can turn to and be like, they know he's Batman, and they're not trying to stop him from being Batman. They understand that Batman is a boon to Gotham, not a curse. Mm-hmm. They're not necessarily like they're probably worried about Bruce. Alfred's constantly worrying about Bruce. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he knows that you can't just stop him from doing this. Right. And so you're a much better help if you're just helping.
Yep.
And not like...
What a concept.
Yeah. I'm just like, but no. Like, so I didn't think they were going to kill anybody. At the same time, when I heard about the news about Jessica Jones Season 2 and not anything about Daredevil Season 3, I was just like, well, that just makes sense because Daredevil already has a Season 2. Mm-hmm. Jessica Jones just needs to catch up. Like, it just needs a second season. And that would be the next step, I thought. Because if we're going to go by in order, it would be her turn again.
But to me, it was just like, no, it would definitely... Because, like, that's kind of like what they did at the end of the Avengers set when they did the first movie after that was another Iron Man movie.
Another Iron Man movie, yeah, okay.
3.
I get that.
And I was like, yeah, you want to lead with your front runner and come back in the same order. So I figured it would be Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and then Iron Fist again. It would be in that order again.
Okay.
Which I don't want... Primarily because I don't want Luke Cage to have his own show again. I don't want Iron Fist to have his own show again. I think they should do more shorts and more things like this of people teaming up. I think they should do...
Yes.
They could do a 4-episode Daughters of the Dragon team up. That would be swag.
That'd be so cool.
They could do an 8-episode, Heroes for Hire with Luke and
Iron Fist.
Do it. Something simple like that.
Don't go back to this 13-episode thing. Punisher's coming back with 13 episodes.
Punisher's going to have 13 episodes.
And honestly, I feel like there's a lot of potential for Punisher. It might actually not be that bad.
It might be the exception to this.
It might be fine because... You could shoot a bunch of guys. Like, you could shoot a bunch of guys as Punisher.
Oh, man. We should keep a kill count.
Right? That's going to be great.
I don't want to get too far into predictions, though, because you said you had something about the hand you wanted to talk about and organization.
I don't know if it's a big thing. It was kind of a big thing for me. I don't want to say this and have people be like, yeah, we should make this a big deal. Because it did seem wrong for me at the time, is that there's these 5 characters. They come from Kunlun. They're all from different countries and things like that. And they're all different varying ages and experience or whatever the case may be.
Guess who died first?
The black guy. Guess who was the leader? The white girl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Why do this? Why not have, Gao be the leader? She's the oldest and wisest of them. Why not have... that was the problem I was talking about.
Because Gal's not Sigourney Weaver, David.
But Sigourney Weaver doesn't have to be the star. That's the thing. When we were talking about this in a previous Defenders episode. We were talking about predictions. I was saying I didn't want Sigourney Weaver to be the boss of the Hand. Mm-hmm. And she was the boss of the Hand.
She totally was.
But I also didn't want her to be a ninja. No. Although I did feel like the little bit of like kind of ninja-y thing stuff that she did was well done. I was like, okay, that's
so that she was competent.
It showed she was competent, but it didn't do it in such a way that I was like, there's like it didn't feel too jarring.
I didn't at all see her like fighting Daredevil. Like
no, like, I didn't feel that, but I did. But it did show that she was capable. I felt I did believe that she was capable. But like when the show started with Luke Cage fighting a girl in the middle of a sewer, I was like, if it turns out that this woman is a Sigourney Weaver, I'm gonna break somebody's neck. I was like, this does not make sense. When it turned out to be Elektra, I was like, oh, thank goodness. It's like that's much more believable. But then like Sigourney Weaver also, like, as far as her threat level goes, like when they had that one character that tried to like assassinate her, I felt that scene worked really well because I didn't feel like it was building up to the two of them are gonna have a ninja fight. It felt more like she's like a Batman type person who always has a contingency plan.
Right.
And so like she's got a bomb somewhere, or she's got darts lined up somewhere, or you know what I mean? Like she's got some kind of other intricate trap in play. Yeah. And then that's when Elektra walked in, and I was like, or she's got an assassin that nobody can touch.
Right.
I did not see. Well, okay, I did kind of see Elektra killing Alexander. Only that it made sense that Elektra would do that, but it didn't make sense. Like I didn't like it. Like it just felt weird and jarring, and it also just didn't feel right that like the next logical step was, I'm the head of the Hand now, as opposed to just being like, and now I'm going to kill all the rest of you. Because I thought she only killed Alexander because because Alexander was trying to kill Matt, and she was like, no, Matt's good. I want Matt to be on my side, and that was the weirdest thing about the whole situation with her and Matt's fight in the sewers is that they were like, I'm going to kill you, but I love you. Yeah. And I'm like, what is this?
It's like really violent.
What is happening? Yeah, I don't like this at all. It made zero sense.
So Elektra killing Alexandra, I was all right with it in the way that we have always seen that Elektra does not like being controlled.
Yeah.
She's already expressed that. We know that. So I think once Elektra came around to the fact that she was an actual person, and she was still Elektra, and she was being controlled by these people, that's when I feel like, yeah, okay, sure, kill her. I don't feel like she killed her because she wanted to kill Matt. I feel like she killed her because that's what Elektra does, and she's not going to be controlled by these people.
Sure.
That's fine.
That's fair.
I think she might have kept the others around just because she realized that she would need this substance to live, I guess. I don't know.
But she was brought back with the substance just like they were, so she already has the immortality-ishness that they have.
Right.
As long as she doesn't lose her head, and she's way less more likely to lose her head than they were. I
understand why they wouldn't have tried to attack her. I get that. She's also the Black Sky, which means she's kind of mystical in their eyes.
Which never was touched on, in my opinion.
Really wasn't.
They were like,
and some of them didn't even care about it. She kind of punched Gal was harder. Like, I don't care about this Black Sky. Let's just get this over with.
They spent so much time on this Black Sky, and most of the members of the Hand were like, this is a useless prophecy. Also, they mentioned that Sigourney Weaver's the one who had the prophecy. And I'm like, does she have fortune telling? Did she see the future? Does she seen other prophecies? Have any of them come true? She's been around for centuries. Is that her power? We don't know.
We have no idea. No clue.
No clue it bothers me.
Yeah, it does. But they've swept so many things under the rug, and they've nipped everything in the bud with this, because they at this point, Kunlun is destroyed.
If anything, the prophecy of Elektra being the Black Sky made me feel there might have been some master they were working for, because I didn't until they mentioned that Sigourney Weaver was the one who saw the prophecy, I had assumed that the Black Sky was some greater prophecy that it outlived all of them, that something they had been looking forward to for centuries or something. And then it turns out Sigourney Weaver's character had seen it however long ago.
I don't know.
And then everyone else is just like, are you sure you weren't just like seeing things? Like, now we're distrusting this prophecy? I'm like, has she gone askew on other prophecies? Has she had any other prophecies?
I don't know. Also,
why?
Kunlun's been destroyed, and basically all of the
I thought it just disappeared.
And that's the thing that killed.
I think that's the thing that bothered me. Well, we saw them killed in
his vision.
In his vision.
And I'm pretty sure Elektra was the one that said, yeah, I killed them all.
She said that, but we never saw that. And that's the thing that bothered me.
And she might have been referring to the Chaste.
She may have been referring to the Chase. She did kill all the Chase, and the Chase
I don't know.
they work for the Iron Fist or whatever. They report to the Iron Fist. I don't know. They're on his side.
I get the sense
it all just felt unclear.
I get the sense that Kunlun is gone. It's not in this. We're not going to worry about it anymore. And I get the sense that most of the hand is now dead, and so the people writing the show just don't even have to deal with it anymore. They're just like, all right, done. We're going to move on.
Hopefully they don't. But this is the
hopefully
thing.
They do. You wanted them to move on from the hand. I hope they do move on from the hand.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying hopefully they don't
ever go back.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I know they will. They will. That's what I'm saying. Like this again. This feels like you mentioned earlier. This feels like Flash. Like the hand is their time remnants.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, good. Hopefully the lesson they learn from this is don't do this. Don't do this ever again. Don't talk about this ever again. But what's going to happen is they're going to introduce some new villain.
Undead ninjas? Yeah, you want some undead ninjas.
And they're going to be like, or no, not even that. It'll be not even that. It'll be less subtle. I mean, it'll be more subtle. It'll be like they're going to go somewhere, a new villain's going to show up and stuff like that. They're going to fight him. They're going to take him down.
Think of something new.
And then he's going to turn out to be working for the hand.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, stop.
Well, we know that
that's every season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, except for this most recent season,
Jessica Jones,
which is one of the great reasons this current season's so good, is because there hasn't been this like reveal that the villain of the show is secretly working for Hydra. Like, stop.
Well, we've got Jessica Jones season 2 coming up, which it's been revealed that Doctor Who's on the set.
David Tennant's coming back. Yeah.
Which he could just be,
I'm hoping he's just visions. I know they could. It's Marvel. They could just bring him back.
I bet he's a zombie that was resurrected by the hand and has been secretly working for Hydra the whole time.
Wouldn't that be great? Would that just
so they can tie her warm into inside? The rest of the mythology of the shows, David. I don't.
I predict.
Don't know.
No, I hope they introduce other characters. I hope Jessica Jones has other mysteries she's involved in. Like, I want to see her actually being a private eye and solving cases and doing things. I want to see her growing as a character a little bit instead of being this archetype of a character. Because you do see a little bit of growth of this, and I hope that they proceed with that. Like, I hope that they do stick with that.
I think we have gotten to is at the end of this series, all of these characters have now hopefully fleshed out all of their origin and are now going to be the characters that we want them to be from the comics.
Yes.
Or at least something like that. So we can have the Iron Fist that's noble and humble and defends New York and can summon his Iron Fist and I don't know, maybe he finds a new master or something like that. And he learns more Kung Fu and he fights a whole lot better than we've seen him been fighting. Luke Cage gets less scared about going out and being a hero for people. And Jessica Jones, I guess, same deal. Goes out, takes cases, helps people, enjoys it, maybe gets over some of her vices.
Hopefully goes to like some AA meetings.
Yes.
That's the thing. This is one of the things I did have against Jessica Jones. I was kind of going to talk to you about it a little bit before this, but it's something I do kind of hope it's something I think would make an interesting story if they dwelled on this, because I've seen it done so well in other shows, not Marvel shows necessarily, especially not Marvel shows, but like in like The West Wing and certain shows like that I've seen. There are characters who are alcoholics or struggle with an addiction, and it's an interesting point to the story, especially coming from this character who has struggles with mental illness of PTSD and such. I think it'd be interesting storytelling thing if we see the character find growth. Like, she doesn't need to necessarily, but like in Jessica Jones, she has that neighbor who's addicted to heroin, Malcolm, who she gets off heroin, and she gets him away from Kilgrave. Basically, she gets him away from his spell. Basically, so he doesn't work for Kilgrave anymore. He has his own brain, and once he's away from Kilgrave, and once he stops taking heroin, you see him go to a meeting, like once, maybe twice. I think it's twice. In the whole rest of the show, 13 episodes of the show, you see him go to like 2 meetings, and after that, he's clean forever.
Clean as a whistle.
He's fit. He's getting lean and swole. He's getting his hair all nice. He's getting clean up. He was homeless in the show, and like now he's like a decent, upstanding New York citizen who's got a better job than Jessica. And I'm just like,
quick turnaround.
What? Just breeze past a heroin addiction? Like what?
I don't know. Yeah,
come on.
They do seem to kind of glorify alcoholism. Jessica Jones.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's so much potential for these characters. So many stories they could tell with these characters. Yeah. And I feel like they're trying to... They're trying... They can't find a happy medium. They're trying either too hard to be like the Marvel movies, be as intense and action-packed and whatever as they can, or they're trying to be too dark and gritty and too different
I feel
from the Marvel
like
series.
They're trying to be too dark and gritty. They're trying to have too much drama. They're trying to have too much intrigue, which just winds up being boring.
Yes.
And they're not going for the action that they should be going for.
Yeah.
If they spent less time on writing episodes that are long and drawn out and wordy and full of
exposition
and full nothing. Of people turning on other people and all finding out all this interesting stuff behind the scenes,
secrets
that
and
really
lies
wasn't interesting in the first place, and instead replace that with some better fight choreography, because this is a superhero show and we're signed on to see superheroes punch people. That's what I want to see. You've got two people who are superpowered, one person who is impervious, and you've got two other people who are freaking martial arts masters. And the best I can say for the fight scenes in this is that they're all right.
Yeah. No, I get that.
And I should not be saying that.
That's definitely true. That's definitely very true. It's not great.
But I
also I don't know if you know this. I kind of hoped that Jessica Jones was going to fly in this, or they were going to mention whether or not she could, because she used to be a superhero. She used to be she called herself Jewel. And they mention it once in Jessica Jones when she's talking to Trish about her time as a superhero. She used to do that before she met Kilgrave. But like one of her powers before was flight. And in the comics, in the Defenders, flight, they give her flight as from a writing perspective as a way to kind of differentiate her from Luke Cage, because otherwise, like, she's and Luke Cage are basically the same person. Yeah, they're basically the same character.
She's not impervious.
Yeah, she's not. She isn't, but she's tougher than the other two.
Right,
as far as
but she can get shot.
Yeah, she can get shot, and and she doesn't seem to be as strong as Luke Cage. But it's like, if her power is her
strength is so strange to me, because it seems to be so on such. Sometimes it's ramped up and sometimes it's not. Like she can hold a car and lift one.
Also, it doesn't make sense.
Hold their whole elevator up.
Yeah.
While grass, and I'm like, but sometimes when she punches guys, they don't go far, and I'm like, why don't they go far?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Why don't let's have you rip a door off its hinges or something like. I
don't know.
Don't know.
Because that's not her fighting style, apparently. That's Luke Cage's.
Yeah, she just likes to get drunk.
Make her fly.
Take pictures. I don't know.
But yeah, no. But you were saying something. I'm so sorry. I cut you off about the.
Do you have anything else to hate on this show about? Because I think we should spend some time talking about the things that we like about this show. Because there are some good things.
No.
I don't want this to seem like we hate this, because again, I put this well above Iron Fist. I put this well above Luke Cage.
Yeah.
I put it on par with season 2 of Daredevil.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the first season of Daredevil. I think it's.
Yeah.
I personally think it's better than
Jessica Jones,
just because I don't watch Jessica Jones. But
I feel that way too. So this is how I rank the shows too. I rank them critically that Jessica Jones is probably the better written, but I rate Daredevil higher because I enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
And so I'm with you on that. Like, I feel like this is on par with second season of Daredevil / Jessica Jones, because I felt like it was. But Jessica Jones is probably a little higher, actually. Jessica Jones is a little higher than Defenders, only because it's actually better written. But again, I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Daredevil. The Defenders. Jessica Jones is just sad. Like, you're right. It is anxiety and stuff like that. I don't like those feelings, but it's well written. It's very good, I think.
Sure it is.
Yeah.
I like the pace of this show. 8 episodes is great. Let's do it again. I mean, there are some things I don't like. It was slow to start.
I say the word pace might not be a great word, but yeah.
I like the amount of episodes.
The length, the length is good.
I wish episode 3 would have been episode 1,
and
that our team would have met up and been like, all right, let's go do something now.
I wish the pace had been consistent. I don't want to
dwell on things that I disliked. I liked that there was 8 episodes. I hope that they do this again.
Yes.
I hope that at least any of their team-ups are this short, so they can have a nice, fun sort of romp. I loved Iron Fist and Luke Cage.
Yes, they had great chemistry.
It was good. I liked it. I loved episode 3 when they fight together is so cool.
That's the best.
It is the coolest thing. It is.
I wish they had more scenes like that in the movie.
I totally wish they would do that, because it seems like, Iron Fist is also, he's a martial artist. He's tactical.
Yeah.
It seems like he would use that tactical advantage of having a bulletproof, big hulking monster man to his advantage when fighting.
Yes.
And I hope they get to go and do that. I really hope this spurs them on to create a series where it's
Make a spin-off with Luke Cage and Iron Fist.
Please.
Yeah.
I love that. This show, that was really cool in the show. I loved any time where Matt Murdock or Daredevil was present.
Yes.
He's so cool.
He was great.
I love him. I love watching him fight. I love getting to see him flip and kick people again.
Yes.
That was so fun.
That's the
so
best.
cool.
I love that so much.
I love watching that man fight.
He makes that look so easy.
Yes! And it's so cool.
Yeah.
Gosh, Daredevil's so cool. And what else did I like about this show? I liked that I liked that it was all four of them. And a lot of their supporting cast.
Yeah.
I liked that, I didn't have to get bogged down with just one of these characters' stories for a whole hour at a time. We bounced back between different people, and that was cool. I enjoyed that. I liked that so much. This show is so worth watching.
Yeah, it is. I liked a lot of things you said. I liked that Stick died.
Yes,
because I felt he was holding the story back a lot more.
Again, I really wish it would have happened the way I predicted and wanted it to, whereas he shows up, he says something interesting for a second, and maybe reveals something that they should have known that would have helped them, and then it instantly gets killed. Yeah. That would have been fantastic. Sweep that on the rug.
Yeah, that would have been neat. Nice. He stuck around a lot longer than I expected him to in the show, for sure. I'm glad that he died. I'm glad that the characters got together. I like that they ended on a note where they look like they're going to keep in touch. Like, I believe that they would keep in touch. So Luke Cage, Iron Fist.
Luke Fist is great.
I was thinking that Luke Fist, but I was like, would you call him Luke Fist? Would you call him Iron Cage? Or would you call him Power Fist? Because Power Man.
Power Fist. That sounds good.
That's a good one. But no, they look like them and Jessica Jones would keep in touch. I liked Colleen and Claire. I like them talking about being the foundation of the thing. I like that that Claire is self-aware in that she referenced herself as do you think I look like a sidekick? And I was just kind of, but at the same time, I also feel that she also brings something to the team that they don't normally have, which is a little bit of intelligence, a little bit of she helps them push past the BS. I loved her being the one to introduce Luke Cage and Iron Fist. I wish she was the one that introduced everybody. Yeah, I wanted her to. Cool. I wanted her to. I wanted them to. I wanted her to introduce Iron Fist and Luke Cage and immediately call up Matt Murdock because she knew he was Daredevil. Mm-hmm. Why not call him too?
Be just so you guys know, there's also this Red Ninja.
Yeah,
and he's better than both of y'all. Yeah, so you should listen to him and let him be your leader.
Yeah,
I also like that they didn't necessarily have a leader.
No,
Daredevil definitely.
They kind of pushed Daredevil. Yeah, they kind of pushed Daredevil to be the leader, even though he was like, "No, I don't want to be the leader" and stuff like that. But he was also the most equipped, and I like that he was at a time for briefly calling the shots, and they were responding to that.
I love.
It felt very much like when Cap started taking charge in the Avengers, where they were just rattle it off, or whatever. They asked him for his plan, basically. Yep. And I thought that was neat.
I love that everyone got to fight a bit. I love that Daredevil got to fight Iron Fist. Yes. That was my favorite thing. That was, was so good. Excellent. I love that Matt found a little bit of peace, it seemed like.
Yeah.
I enjoy...
I hope that if and when we see him and Elektra together, something is resolved. Yeah. I think it'd be neat if they were actually together and they weren't, trying to kill one another
and if
or
she
whatever.
Wasn't as crazy, but I don't know.
I don't know.
It's probably a pipe dream.
I just hate it.
I enjoyed...
But yeah, hopefully it's good.
There's just a lot of moments that I think were really cool. Action moments. It's again, the fight in episode 3 just got me so pumped to watch the rest of the show. I was like, this is what we want. The fight... I enjoyed some of the fight in...
I liked the build up to the fight in the cave in the bottom when they went to save Iron Fist. That they got together to fight Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones is the only one on the elevator, and she's just like, "I don't want to fight you guys alone." And then these two guys show up. I thought that was neat.
Too campy for me.
I love that. Though.
Yes, I know you do. So I'm fine with you liking that. I
love the campiness. It's a comic book story. Put a little camp in it. If anything, this show needed a little more camp in it.
It super did. But I refused to believe that it needed to come from Jessica Jones.
Oh, I think it's perfect for her coming from her.
That's
the thing. I love her. Her Valley Girl voice she does whenever she's like, that's her identity.
Yes,
she used that in her show a lot too, and I love that because like she's perfect at that. Like she's like it makes sense that this character would be.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense. That's something that
this kind of like girl of many voices or many talents, kind of thing. I haven't
watched the show, so that's not as apparent to me.
Yeah, no, I got that.
I get that. But so we'll say one more thing that I wish this show had is that I wish it's missing levity,
yes,
comic relief, and a person. I feel like it's missing a person who wants to be there, and wants this team to come together. And really be a thing outside of Stick or Iron Fist. Iron Fist wants to be there because this is his destiny, and Stick wants the team to come together because
he wants soldiers to fight his war.
He wants to feel right about something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like, if there was just another guy, like a Spider-Man or something like that, another character who was there and was like, yeah, this is cool, this is for real, this is stuff we're doing. We're heroes. Look how cool we are. Let's go do some of this stuff, and let's go beat the crap out of these ninjas.
So what you're saying is we need to put Spider-Man in the Defenders.
Yes. Or it's
no, I get that. No, I see what you're saying. They do that. They did that in the Avengers.
It seemed like everybody was so dead set on not liking the fact that they had to be a team.
Yes.
And I feel like at least one person could have been like, yeah, this is cool. This is something we should be doing. Can call me, please?
Iron Fist kind of did that a
here's my
little
card.
Bit.
Iron Fist just only wanted to be there because he was fighting I
mean, like when they all met up at the Chinese restaurant, he was just like, "Oh man, we were really good together." Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I think still felt forced. Like it still felt
a
weird.
little bit. And I think that's still coming from when Colleen was giving him the talk, where she was like, "We probably have some other people out there. Why don't we try that?" And he was like, "Oh, this worked. Maybe this is what we should do." Got you. But again, I like.
And then even after that, when she used that she gave that, and then when he met up with these people and he was talking to Colleen later, she's like, "We don't need these people."
Yeah, precisely.
They're
so weird,
like,
so strange. I was like, whatever. Anyway, I'm done with my bad things about the show.
Yeah, okay.
Except for this, I just want someone in there who cares about the team and wants it to be a team and is having fun with it. We need some fun in these shows.
I feel like
Young Justice.
Yeah.
When that team was formed.
Yes.
They were excited about it.
They wanted to be in that team.
They wanted to be there.
They wanted to do that so bad.
Have at least one person like that on this crew.
Yeah. And that's really not how Marvel does their thing. And that's the thing, like, people feel like that's how Guardians of the Galaxy is. Or like the opposite, I mean. Like, how this is. That's how the Avengers is. The Avengers originally happened because Samuel Jackson's character, Nick Fury, like basically like blackmailed them / kidnapped them to get to hey look, the world's going to end if you don't do this thing, and that's how also like a lot of people have this idea that it's cool to get a bunch of characters that don't like each other or know each other and just put them together in a team and then have them figure it out. But it's like, my thing is like, this is coming from a guy who enjoys Power Rangers. Like, why not get 5 kids or people? Why not get 5 teammates that like each other or know each other?
What a concept!
Or want to be there.
What a concept! I don't know. Yes, at least one person who's like, "Man, this is cool. Yeah, let's do this again. Yeah, let's start up a D&D group every Monday. We can go fight crime together. Like, you know what I mean? Right? Something like that. Just a little bit of that would be great. I think it would go a long way.
Definitely.
Yeah, just because even again with the Avengers and with the Guardians of the Galaxy, each member of the team is slightly different. Yeah. And some of them are snarky, and some of them are brooding, and some of them can't speak the English language, and some of them are jerks, and some of them are happy-go-lucky, and some of them just like to shoot things and listen to 80s music. But with these 4 and the Defenders, they're all just kind of... They're just kind of angry or loners.
And they all kind of blend together a little bit. Like we mentioned, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage are similar in their power sets. But then Iron Fist and Daredevil are similar in their backstories and their role in the team, and that they're both martial artists. They both have like a destiny to uphold. Like Iron Fist is the Iron Fist, but Daredevil was originally recruited for the chase. Like they want him to be some kind of chosen one for the chase. Yeah. And so it's like they're already like they're all stepping on each other's toes a little bit. Yeah. And I don't know.
Anywho, it's a good show.
It is good. It is good as much as as much as we were harping on it.
Anything else you like?
I feel like we harp on it because we want it to be good. We want it to be amazing.
I agree.
We want it to be what it could be.
This show did not upset me.
No, but this is the thing. I think this is part of it too, is that with the last two shows,
the bar was set real low.
We came in with lower expectations.
Yes.
And so because the show wasn't awful, we're like, it's fine.
And I think another key to it not being awful was the fact that it was only 8 episodes.
Yes.
No, 5 more episodes of this, they could have done some real stupid stuff.
They could have done a lot. This show, honestly, could have been 6 episodes.
Yeah.
It could have been shorter.
They could have cut out the first 2.
It could have been way shorter. Yeah. And it could have been way less...
I also like the fight between Luke and Iron Fist when they first meet each other.
Yes, that fight was great.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love any point where Iron Fist is like sort of put in check and he's like, oh.
Yeah. I love that fight because I don't know how they did... So, like, I know how you can, like, pretend to fight somebody and them not get hurt, basically. Like, he's just standing there taking these punches from Iron Fist and he's not doing anything. But, like, Iron Fist was doing, like, some flips and kicks and stuff like that. And, like, the actor, Luke Cage, was just not moving at all. I'm like, I wonder how they did that. Like, how they... Because, like, there's one point where he, really like jumps and, like, double kicks him. And I'm just like, he would have, like, at least shifted. Like, how did they stop him from... I don't know. But it was really neat. It looked really good. It was real cool. And I liked it a lot. Yeah. No, there was a lot of good things this show did, and it's just, we want it to do better. Hopefully it will.
Yeah.
But maybe not. It's like DC with their movies.
We shall see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
Hopefully Jessica Jones season 2 is less anxiety-ridden now that Kilgrave is gone, but maybe he's back, so who knows.
She must be having relapses of some sort. I don't know.
It could be.
Maybe she's trying to get sober and she's having
withdrawals. And like that, she starts to discover that he is part of it. He's part of the
DK. I don't know. Anyway, go watch this show. It's real good. Thank you for listening to our show about this show.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you
guys are great.
I guess you have already watched it if you've listened this far.
Yeah.
It was good. Tell us how much you liked it.
Yeah. Tell your friends about it.
TNYK Pod on Twitter and Facebook. thosenerdsyouknowpod at gmail.com. Let us know what you thought about the Defenders and let us know where you think this stuff is going.
Tell me how wrong I am about this show.
Yeah, tell David how wrong he is.
Did the show need less camp in it? Did it need more camp in it?
Tell me how right I am. Tell us if there's more stuff you hated or more stuff you liked or if any of our opinions are wrong.
What'd you think of Stick? A lot of people said he was cool.
Yeah, I heard some people say he was cool and he was BA, and I was like, I've never seen him as that. I've always seen him as a moron.
He's always been a jerk.
So annoying. Just let us know. We also have a YouTube channel, Those Nerds You Know.
Yeah.
We're on iTunes. Look us up on iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating if you like us. If you don't like us, don't worry about it. Don't rate us at all. It's okay. Leave it alone. But yeah, I think that's about it. Also keep an eye out for our spoiler-free review of this show.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I'm Ethan.
And I'm David.
And we are Those Nerds You Know.
Thank you guys.
Bye.